Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It's a beautiful day outside to be alive and enjoying it. It's still a great day to be alive. But last night sucked. That was the longest game ever and the most unfulfilling end to a game we've all witnessed in a very, 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 very long time. My name is Ben Brust. You're listening to Kyle Brust Nortman live from Ozaukee County Country Club, courtesy of Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their sportsbook and the VIP services. We're no VIPs, but they're taking care of them.
It is beautiful out here.
That's Kyle Wallace. At least the weather's making him smile.
I'm not smiling. I just said it's beautiful out here.
Yeah, fair.
There's no smiles on my face on YouTube.
You can see us on YouTube, as he just mentioned, at 800-990. Oh, nope. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. You can get us on the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776 and program it and store it, because I want to hear from KBN Nation, ESPN Wisconsin, and anyone who has any feelings about what happened last night in the Sunday Night Football matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys that ended up a 40-40 tie. There is so much within 40-40 that can be talked about. But before we get into that, and I would love to hear from all of you again at the Carbless Talk and Text line 800-990-3776, that sigh of not relief, but of you just tell me, Kyle, how are you feeling, Mr. Packerbacker?
Sometimes losses are better because at least you have an answer. Where again, in the column of what the record is, 2-1-1, I'll take that over 2-2. But I've never gone to bed so confused a day in my life from what I just watched and what I just witnessed and not understanding who and what this football team is. I cannot believe the Green Bay Packers were up 13-0 in this game, and somehow the final score in OT ended up being 40-40. Somehow this defense that we all believed to be so elite, that played so well for the majority of the first half, ended up giving a 40 spot and could not stop the Dallas Cowboys offense whatsoever in the second half, other than one punt they had on the first drive. Could not stop them, could not get off the field. I am so confused what happened. Special teams, oh my gosh, something has to shake with special teams, because at this point we can go on no longer, because the Green Bay Packers are 2-1-1 solely because of the play of special teams. I understand the offensive line was putrid last week. I understand the first half the offensive line was terrible protecting Jordan Love in the first half. But if you take away the fact that we had a blocked field goal last week, if you take away the fact that we had a blocked field goal return for a
extra point. Which by the way, did matter a lot. That's a 3-point swing. The one turned to 2.
That was the reason why we ended up going into overtime. It was because of that play right there specifically that led us to that moment. And then on top of that, you're talking about kickoff returns. Brandon McManus can't be your special teams tackler leader in a game like that where you're giving up 40, 50 yards on a kickoff return. It is just terrible. Special teams has not been special. They've been absolutely embarrassing, and it is shocking to me that Rich Bisaccia is going to be able to walk through that door and continue to coach this team. We have been talking about Rich Bisaccia being the most overpaid special teams coach for years now. I feel like
he's not just a special teams coach, Kyle. He's an associate head coach. He's Matt LaFleur's right hand.
Well, if he had LaFleur right hand, the game management and clock management at the end of the game,
I literally posted a picture of 24 seconds left in overtime.
And they talked to each other?
They were talking to each other. They were going over the scenarios. They were collaborating when Matt LaFleur was not in the middle of calling a play. Now, look, it's disappointing because you started with the I don't know who they are.
Oh,
because how is anyone supposed to know who they are? They open up the season playing the most complimentary football of any team in the NFL through 2 weeks against the Detroit Lions, who are 3-1 and took care of the Browns pretty easily.
They did at home.
And then the Commanders, they don't have Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota was out there. They lost. But again, it was another moment against a team that had gone far last year, that is going to go through some bumps, but they took care of them handily. And then these two scenarios, these last 2 weeks, they literally, like, I felt myself watching the game scratching my head.
Trying to figure out what's happening.
How is this possible? This shouldn't be possible against the two opponents and where you were situationally. And the key word I use there is situationally, because I know you went at Rich Bisaccia, but Matt LaFleur has a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't understand the flow of a football game. He doesn't understand, as a head coach calling plays, how to manage a football game and how it is flowing.
Listen, everything falls under him because he hires Rich Bisaccia just like he hired Joe Barry, just like now he hired our current defensive coordinator in Halfley. And so he has to wear all that. But when I think about how these last games were lost, the defense played a big role this week. The offensive line played a large role the previous week. But the problem that I have with Bisaccia is because when you needed your special teams the most in the last 2 weeks, they failed you, Ben. They failed you in the aspect of making a field goal and blocking successfully for a field goal.
So if you're talking,
they failed you in kickoff coverage.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But you're putting a lot on Rich, the man in charge, to determine who is on his staff, and it's been something that is not. This isn't the first time we're like, hey, Rich Bisaccia's special team. No. You know what I mean? Like, when you have a common theme and you continue to back a guy, that ultimately comes on to you as the ultimate decision maker around the coaching staff.
That's true.
And who you surround yourself around, and how your team is going to play, and how they execute on the field. That is the head coach.
Don't have your loyalty to Bisaccia have you fired. Again, I understand what you're saying, and it all falls under Matt LaFleur, and definitely he gonna get some of this fury as well. But I just think back to after the Green Bay Packers scored that touchdown to go up 37 to 34 or whatever, 33, whatever the score was. When the Packers went up and they scored that touchdown, all you got to do, and again, there's no guarantees that the Cowboys still don't drive down and score a touchdown, but the thing I'm looking forward to having some type of good kickoff coverage to make the Cowboys have to drive the full field. They could do nothing right. Like, yeah, they got the field goal and they made the field goal, but other areas of the football game that matter so much when you're talking about field position, that matters. And the Green Bay Packers special teams failed in that aspect in a moment that they needed them the most. So, again, my eerie right now is going to be on Rich Bisaccia because we can go on no longer. He's had more than enough time to prove what his value is. And to me, he doesn't have much value because there is somebody else that you can get in there who I'm sure can coach up these guys better. There's something going on where these guys are not being coached good enough every single week on special teams. I am sick of seeing this. Last year we complained about Braden Narvis, and the year before we complained about Anders Carlson. Now we're complaining about the fact that we can't even cover correctly.
The penalties last year on special teams were absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's very true. But that comes down to head coach, and that comes down to Rich Bisaccia getting things cleaned up. I'm pointing the finger at Rich Bisaccia because he's the easy fix at this moment.
Yeah, 800-990-3776. This is one of the head scratchers, Rob, in the 262. This was a head scratcher for me. I don't know the answer to your initial question here of what percentage of the offensive plays were freaking sideways. Like, I was like, how many east-west, 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 east-west. And part of me understands that I think Matt LaFleur might have in the back of his head been adjusting to maybe Jordan Love's mistake at the end of last game. But again, throughout this game, other than a fumble, which again, the Green Bay Packers defense didn't do anything, Jordan Love, I had no lack of confidence when he was releasing the football.
He drove you downfield for a touchdown with less than, a minute and a half left?
The problem is 3 plays later, boom.
But then he got the ball and he drove you downfield to get the game-time field goal. And then at the end of the game, even though the football coach had no sense of urgency and messed up his game clock management at the end of the game, he still drove you down there. Jordan Love should not be in question whatsoever. It all falls on Matt LaFleur and Rich Bisaccia. And by the way, I love Matthew Golden. He didn't perform like I thought he would, but catching the ball and spinning and me finding out that he never returned punts in high school or in college, and this is the first time he returning punts, and then we throwing Romeo Dobbs back there. You mean to tell me we ain't got nobody return kicks and Keyshawn Nixon
It's almost
on this
like the special
team?
teams coordinator should have planned better for who would be returning punts this year.
I would have said, Keyshawn, get back there. Get Keyshawn, get back.
You know what
there.
would have been better?
I would prefer
Believe it
Keyshawn
or not,
to
you know what
those
would have been better than having anyone back there?
What?
Nobody back there.
I guess so.
I mean, Matthew Golden spammed the B or circle button like it was PlayStation. Like me, like I was playing Madden out there just trying to press the spin
That's
move.
a kid who doesn't know what he's doing back there.
I had flashbacks of myself playing Blitz 2000, spin.
But again, that's why I say I point at Rich Bisaccia, and Matt LaFleur, he's still culpable in this. But I point at Rich Bisaccia because all these decisions we're talking about, all the lack of execution we're talking about, penalties, all the different things, that all falls under the purview of Rich Bisaccia as a direct special teams coordinator. If the special teams continues to lose you or tie you football games, then that coordinator needs to go. Changes need to be made because if you want to win a Super Bowl, you ain't going to do it with this guy as the special teams coordinator. Where
I want to start, and I know you're hot on Rich. You should be hot on Rich Bisaccia, but I still think this all goes to the head coach and Matt LaFleur. Jason in the 920. I think LaFleur is gone after this season if they don't make it at least to the NFC Championship game. This team has no discipline whatsoever. Chef Ed, I'm so confused about what happened with the defense, but LaFleur is the main reason we are not winning games. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. Let's go to Ricardo in Canada. I don't have time for Canada. I just want to get to you.
Man, what a game. This falls on all three coaches, and they all take blame equally. Hafley, great. Yes, your defense was vaunted, but guess what? They figured it out. You don't travel your quarterbacks, so you leave one on an island. Valentine got beat like a drum, like you owed someone money. You need to adjust. If you couldn't get pressure, you got to blitz. You got to double team. You got to do something. Pickens was killing us all day. Third down plays, you know where the ball was going. It was going to Pickens because it was one-on-one with Valentine all day. You got to adjust. Bisaccia, he shouldn't be on the plane. He should be back in Texas finding an employment line because man is stealing his money. Enough of the special teams crap, all right? I don't even care. Find a kicker and kick it out the back of the end zone. We'll start at the 35. Enough of this nonsense. And then LaFleur, this man is driving me crazy. If any other coach with conviction drives that final drive to win the game, you're on the 20 or the 15-yard line. You throw the end zone. You go to the end. None of this golden to the side. No. End zone shots, all right? You play to win the game. Campbell, Reed, Sirianni, all these other coaches who won in the past, they live and die by being aggressive, but guess what? The team will back them up for that. That's the difference. They know what they're going to do. There's no thought. Are we going to go? What are we going to do? They know that it's 4 down. We're going for it. We're going to win the game. We're not going to go to tie game. We're going to go to win the game. If we end up tying it, so be it. But we're going to win the game, all right? Enough of this crap. LaFleur needs to stop being scared and start playing like his job is on the line, because it is.
Come on.
Sorry,
Canada. Preaching today.
That's Ricardo in Canada on the Carbless Talk and text line. And a lot of the texts right now and calls have a little bit of confusion of, like, again, he brings up what other coaches do. That's the thing. You can ask the question about, like you know what other coaches are doing in situations. Situationally, like, he doesn't have a feel, and you don't know what the identity and culture of this team is. As Jeff in the 920 says, this is all on the head coach of bad time management. Never should have thrown the ball at the end of the second quarter. He blew the last series. He played a lot of play calls as where he would say Charlie check down, LaFraud strikes again. But where I want to start here to get what people feel
40 points.
is Matt LaFleur holding this team back? 800-990-3776. You can put it on the poll as well, Strofe. 800-990-3776. Is Matt LaFleur holding this team back? Andy in Grafton, I believe, thinks we're a little too I'll let Andy Grafton speak for himself.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, guys?
What up, Andy?
Now I'm going to change everything that I was about to say with the question that you just asked. Is Matt LaFleur holding this team back? You have to be out of your mind if you think he's holding this team back. This is now the 3rd year in a row we're the youngest team in the NFL.
Oh, and bleep the youngest team, dude. They're all guys that have been a part of this team.
But statistics still matter, Ben. And wasn't it
results
just 2
matter
years
more
ago,
than statistics?
Wasn't it just 2 years ago that we were the first time ever that the youngest team in the NFL won a playoff game? Who was the head coach of that team, Ben?
What's the trajectory been since that? What's the trajectory been where you feel like Matt LaFleur has them going in a way where situationally the last 2 games, that they've gotten and grown from where they were 2 years ago?
Look, he went for it at the end of the first half yesterday because Dallas was not doing anything defensively that would have gave you an indication that they were going to be able to stop the Packers. And Dallas has the 31 ranked pass rush in the NFL. So why would he play scared there? Why wouldn't you try to make a play? Now, did it backfire?
Andy.
Did it backfire? Yes, it did.
Andy, listen, I'm right there with you. I'm actually happy that he did that. The problem I have with Matt LaFleur, if you listen to his press conference, I'm going to talk about this. If you listen to his press conference, in his gut, he didn't feel comfortable doing that, but I feel like that is the problem, is that he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't stick to who he is. If he's a coach that decides I want to be a conservative coach, then be a conservative coach, take a knee and take us into halftime because you don't like where the momentum's going. That's my issue with Matt LaFleur, is that he doesn't know who he is. He doesn't stick to his guns of what he believes he should be doing. But I'm with you. I'm glad he was aggressive.
And thank you for the call, Andy. This is Matt LaFleur after the game. If I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster.
That drove me crazy. That drove me crazy because of the simple fact that listen, we can get into it. That is my biggest problem with Matt LaFleur. You listen, we're going to get to it, but listen, anybody, make sure y'all listen to his presser at the end of the game, and you will walk away saying this is a man that does not know who the heck he is.
Is Matt LaFleur holding this team back? 800-990-3776. See your calls, see your texts. Strophy's going to let me know who's coming on the other side with us on the Carbless Talk and Text line. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Again, whatever you're feeling, have it be felt. If Andy feels that way, I'm open to hear what Andy feels. But at the end of the day, situationally, it is unacceptable for the Green Bay Packers to have lost both of those last 2 games. Oh, my
gosh. I can't believe we should be 4-0.
More next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, let them do this. I ain't doing it.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Come on.
Just mine.
Homer, come on.
Yo, fuck, I should be doing this time. I should be 2-6. That good enough for you? Nobody's as good as me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Greasy Ben Brust. Just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more. Purchase tickets at 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com. That's 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no interest for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Every great team starts with a strong defense, and the same's true in business. That's why companies trust Trend Micro for cybersecurity. From ransomware to phishing to the most advanced cyber threats, they help protect your network, your data, and your people. With over 35 years of expertise, Trend Micro has built a defensive playbook trusted by enterprises worldwide. Your business works too hard to get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right. That's trendmicro.com.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Every family adventure begins with a vehicle you can trust. At Boucher Automotive Group, we're more than just a dealership, we're part of your journey.
For over 40 years, Boucher has helped Wisconsin families find the right vehicle with service you can count on.
Community is what fuels us too. That's why you'll see us supporting local schools, Little League teams, golf outings, and other causes throughout the year.
From the first time you get behind the wheel to every service visit after, Boucher is there for all the miles and the memories that matter.
The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Yeah, that just goes to the level of detail where we're not where we need to be. There's 28 seconds left. We call a play to take a shot to the end zone. They played cover 2. We're going to have checking the ball down. So we have an on-the-ball call to send everybody to the end zone. And we knew that, we used the term ozone, saying that it's got to go out of bounds or end zone, obviously with time remaining. And just the operation was just way too slow. Like, I don't know if our guys didn't know we were in 2 minutes or what, but ultimately the communication's got to get better. Myself to Jordan to the huddle, and that's the bottom line.
That's Matt LaFleur postgame after the 40-40 tie against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. It feels so icky. Everything just feels so icky. I was going to say they're 0-2. They're not. They did tie. They did tie.
And a tie is better than a loss. So yesterday, I will admit, going to bed, I said, well, at least we tied.
You got there?
I
agree. You don't want to take a loss.
No.
You don't want to take a loss, but the tie was avoidable.
Ben, I felt like that game, when the momentum shifted, I felt like we were hanging on for dear life.
All right, let's get to the phone lines here, because if you're there, I'm going to try and get to every single one of you. KBN Nation, ESPN Wisconsin at 800-990-3776. The question I've posed to all of you is Matt LaFleur holding this team back right now? And, I feel like even listening to the clip coming in that Alex Stroh producing the show played, I've heard that before. And I don't like Jason Wilde, I believe, is a guy that says they try and preach in Green Bay, make different mistakes. Has special teams made different mistakes? Has the offense made different mistakes?
The field goal block was the same.
Because that's also, I also think back to Jordan Love in 2023 in the first half against the Bears. I was sitting next to Alex Stroh up in Green Bay. Alex, do you know exactly what I'm talking about?
You were sitting next to me in a Chicago game in Green Bay. What year?
2023.
The end of
the when they made the playoffs?
Yes, Jordan Love at the end of the first half threw a ball in which it was in a spot where it wound the clock and they were not able to get points.
He didn't throw it out of bounds.
He didn't throw it out of bounds or end zone. The same way that Matt LaFleur is talking to me today 2 years later, two seasons later.
Ozone.
The O-zone, out of bounds or end zone. So that was the situation. Let's go to Dan or Stan. Stroh couldn't make it out, so you get to choose what your name is in McGuanago on the Carbless Talk and Text line.
Hey, guys, it's Dan, and I was listening to the same thing, and I'm listening to that little recording of Matt LaFleur, and, yeah, we have heard that in the past. It's like, what about Murph? What if we had Murph as our Green Bay Packer coach? I mean, look what happened in the spring. Brewers were falling on their face. They were playing like crap. What happened? He kicked their ass into gear, and what happened? We became the best record, and then Brewers history. So it's like that's what a coach should look like. And what's the difference? Murph has such a connection to his players deeply. They want to dive through a window for the guy. Does LaFleur have that?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting point. Like, I think the way that I know we're talking about two different sports here, one way more physical than the other, but Pat Murphy, like, does a great job of caring for his players, but holding them accountable. Mm-hmm. Joey Ortiz hits a grand slam, benched the next day because they didn't like the other at-bats where he wasn't swinging at strikes that he believes that he is capable of having better plate appearances. Like, there just seems to be this wishy-washiness of the unknowingness of Matt LaFleur and what this culture and identity is. It goes back to the original segment that we had to start the show of somebody saying this coach would have done it. Too many times after the game, it's like, well, no. Like, what are you going to do every single time? Who are you? Who are the Green Bay Packers? And everyone's asking themselves, I don't know who they are.
But we've been asking the same question year after year after year. And again, I think Matt LaFleur is a tremendous coach. You ask that question, is Matt LaFleur the problem? Well, to me, Matt LaFleur, just like anybody else, it has flaws. He has a lot of flaws. But the biggest issue that he has is he has no identity whatsoever. He cannot commit to saying, this is who we're going to be. We're going to play like this. And again, you can hear it in his voice in that press conference at the end where he felt bad because he was like, if I would have known that, if we were going to get get stripped like that in that fumble and that ended up killing us and that lost us the game. And no. You should say, hey, we wanted to be aggressive because that's what we're going to be. But instead, he was too indecisive. And when you're indecisive like that, it leads to regrets, it leads to missed opportunities, and it leads to negative outcomes like we had yesterday in the previous week before. I hope that Matt LaFleur decides to have more conviction and be more decisive and say, this is the team we're going to be. When it's at the end of the half like that with 32 seconds left, you know what? Let's take a knee. Let's take it inside. At the end of the game, you're going to say, you know what? We can try to go for the score, but I don't want to turn it over. I'm going to try my luck by kicking the field goal. Then this is what we're going to be. And when I go to the press conference, you say, listen, guys, I've never changed my identity. We're going to be a football team. We're going to make the best decision. We're not going to take any type of risk, and we're going to try to get as many points as possible. I'm never going to move away from that. So instead of being the conservative coach that he truly is, he goes back and forth. He waffles back and forth between wanting to be aggressive. Last week, he got hit for not being aggressive.
Did you say imposter syndrome one time?
I did say he has the imposter syndrome one time. And last week he goes from, well, you're not aggressive enough, to now it's, because remember I talked about him not being aggressive, right? And then all of a sudden this week he wanted to be aggressive. He said it. We were too aggressive at the end of the first half and it burned us. It killed us. It lost us the game. That's what he said. He believes that decision right there lost him the game by being too aggressive at the end of the half because the Cowboys ended up taking the lead going into halftime. That's not good.
800-990-3776. Yes, James the Postman. I agree. We've heard this speech before from Matt LaFleur in post games. Kyle chimes in that he is holding the Packers back. Every time I listen to this guy, he sounds more confused than the previous time. Not like a coach who's been coaching for years and years. He gives deer-in-the-headlight answers and acts like it surprises him that his quarterback doesn't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. If we had a team owner, this dude would very much be on the hot seat, and I'm using that term lightly.
He should be on the hot seat. He should be. And I love Matt LaFleur, but you've had a lot of time. This is a big year. This is year 3 under Jordan Love, and we need to see progress. We have to see progress. If this team wins 10, 11 games again and we don't see significant progress, then you know what? There's probably somebody out there that can do this job better than he can. And I always bring this up because it's not related to us, but we talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers firing Tony Dungy and bringing in John Gruden, and guess what happened? They won a championship.
Golden State Warriors fired Mark Jackson.
And what happened?
Brought in Steve Kerr.
And they won championships. Sometimes you move on from a very good coach to get a great coach, and that might be the situation. I'm not going to jump ship now because I do believe in Matt LaFleur, but it needs to be something that needs to be evaluated throughout this season by Ed Policy.
Let's go to, Ed Policy did not give him, he does not like lame duck. They're on 2-year deals, Goody and LaFleur. So he essentially is coaching for his future. It's not even a hot seat. It's a show me what you got. Let's go to Randy in Watertown. Randy, you're on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776.
Hey, guys, I got to admit, I took a week off because my adult son keeps chiding me for saying, just be patient, just be patient. I can't be quiet this week. 20 years ago in the NFL, every coach wanted to be the GM. You know what we found out 20 years ago? It doesn't work. There's too much to do. Matt LaFleur needs to grow up and figure out, do I want to coach and be a head coach, or do I want to be an offensive coordinator? The guy is like one for way too many being wrong in challenges because he's always trying to do things that an offensive coordinator does on the sidelines, and he can't coach the team. I just think the Packers need to figure out if he's going to be our head coach or if he's going to be our offensive coordinator, because it shows, look, we're in year 7.
What do you think? What do you think he's better at, being a head coach or being a play caller?
We've never seen him be a head coach. I'll just say that. We've never seen him be a head coach.
It's a strong statement.
He's wrong on almost every. But look at the facts. He's never been right except for one challenge in the last, 3 years.
It is a surprise when he wins a challenge. Everyone does cheer simultaneously.
Well, my thing about this is that I look at Sirianni and I look at
and thank you for the call, Randy. And you never listen. You're a grown man. You have to listen to your son. You don't have to be quiet.
Yeah. I mean, what route do you want to go? Right? Is that's the thing you have to figure out. You can be a guy like Andy Reid, who I'm pretty sure Andy Reid calls the plays out there in Kansas City. And so, I mean, do you want to be like an Andy
But he was
Reid?
also known as a bad time manager for a long portion of his career.
He was in Philadelphia for a very long time. And until he got Pat Mahomes in Kansas City, he finally didn't get over the hump. But, I mean, to me, it's hard. Like, do you get a strong assistant coach who can be there?
They have that. Rich
Bisaccia
Bisaccia is getting paid $2.2 million to be special teams coordinator and associate head coach. You have that, Kyle.
Some people steal money, and then Rich Bisaccia puts in the hours. The results aren't there, but he puts in the hours. If you've got to put in hours and you don't have to have results, what a place to work.
I'll say this from a quick special team standpoint. Like, Brandon McManus better be at wherever they were in Dallas. As soon as he gets on the plane, head to the practice facility and try landing the ball at the 2-yard line so it goes in the end zone. So it comes out to the 20 like the Green Bay Packers had to, instead of letting up a return every single time, putting your defense on the ropes, which also wasn't good. And it's just like that was like Brandon Aubrey was he was a masterclass. He didn't even have the 60-yard bomb and he affected the game, right? He didn't even have the field goals that you're like, wow, look at that. Every single time he kicked it off, he was close, or if not executing the best way you can execute the new kickoff. So, again, another reason when you're watching it in person, 800-990-3776. My Face ID doesn't work, but let's go to Brian in Waukesha. Did I talk to Brian?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Hello. Hey.
What up, Brian?
Hey, players take on the identity of their coach, and you can tell that LaFleur in the biggest moments in the biggest games looks scared, plays scared. And those players, you can tell they're tightening up. They don't have the confidence. They take on the identity of their coach. And you got to go back and look. Goody got him everything he wanted. Got him a world-class wide receiver, Matthew Golden. Got him a pass rusher. Got him Xavier McKinney. Got him Josh Jacobs. He's got every tool you can possibly imagine in that kitchen to cook, and he is failing miserably. So if he's not on the hot seat and if he's not coaching for his job, that's malpractice by the team, because he's got everything he needs to be successful, and he's at this moment failing.
Yeah, I appreciate the call, because one thing I was going through my head was all right, am I missing something? Like, did Goody did Goody give him and I'm like, hell yeah, he's got enough. Like, they've invested in a franchise quarterback. They have a top 3 pass rusher, a defensive player of the year candidate. They have a good back end in terms of what they invested in with Xavier McKinney. What I will say, though, is where I agree with Ricardo, calling back to Ricardo's call. We've seen that if you get pressure, the way they play defense works. But if you're going to play zone and be one-on-one on the outside and kind of play your area,
they all got cooked.
Carrington Valentine, Nate Hobbs, I mean, it was bad. And they didn't, and like he said, they did not adjust at all. I felt like I was watching the same story over and over every drive. So real quick, let's go to Cheesehead Bucky before we get to the rest of the year on the other side. 800-990-3776. You're up.
What's up, guys?
What up?
So my thing is, like, when it comes to Matt, like, I definitely believe that sometimes Matt definitely dribbles up in big moments. But I am happy that Packer fans finally don't, like, just automatically hate our DC, because any other defensive coordinator would have gave up 40. They would have been on his bumper. So I just think that we need to look at the defensive side of the ball when our offense did score at 40 points.
I think that's a fair point. She said, Bucky, I think that's a fair point. I think the defense deserves to be looked at a little bit tighter, but the defense, at least against the Commanders and the Lions, and even the Browns, like they really didn't give up that many points to the Browns. It was a turnover in a short field. So
yeah,
through
defense
3 games,
was phenomenal.
It was a bad performance, but at least you have 3 games of sample size of Jeff Hafley with this new defense really dominating the game. What we do have, though, is a head coach that we can look back at historically of who he's been and evaluate if he is doing a job good enough with the people he's put in place, i.e. Rich Bisaccia and Jeff Hafley. But I believe Jeff Hafley, it was a bad performance, but until it's back-to-back, I'm not going to come here all crazy about the defense. It didn't help that special teams gave them short fields all the time. So 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. If you're on the line, stay there. We will get to you. Is Matt LaFleur holding the Green Bay Packers back? 800-990-3776. More from you, KBN Nation and ESPN Wisconsin next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
He now is off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played... Choke artists. Choke artists, choke artists, choke artists. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You
frauds,
choked against
what else are
TCU.
we?
You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. You choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
It was a wild one in Dallas on Sunday night as the Packers and Cowboys game ended in a tie after Brandon McManus drilled a field goal as time expired in overtime. Here's what quarterback Jordan Love had to say following the tie.
It comes down to, on Sundays, coming out here and performing, executing at a high level. And so, there is some disappointment in these past 2 weeks, but there's still a lot of stuff to clean up. And, we still got a long season ahead of us, and I still know what type of team we are.
The Packers will get a chance to reset now as they'll head into their bye week with a 2-1-1 record.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because cars, trucks, and SUVs still rust. They do. Just look around the parking lot. Well, it doesn't have to happen, people. Google Z-Bart rust protection, call Z-Bart, and keep your car rust-free.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project during their fall savings event. Don't wait. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com to claim your $3,000 savings and book your free estimate. Exterior Pros and Baths, Wisconsin's trusted home improvement experts. Trust the pros.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season with tee times starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guaranteed choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Love, Jacobs, McKinney, Golden, and now Micah Parsons? This year's gonna be fun. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard to find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
That's disappointing, obviously, 2 weeks in a row where you have a kick blocked. So I thought we did a lot of good things throughout the course of the week to try to correct the problem. Obviously, it wasn't enough.
The Matt LaFleur postgame. Yeah, we all witnessed it, Matt. Pretty sure I remember seeing 2 blocked kicks the last 2 weeks. What are you going to do about it? 8.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What do you have on her?
What do you mean?
No one can willingly love you like she does.
You know,
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. September is here and the kids are back in school. Vacations are winding down. And for a lot of us, that means one thing. Time to refocus on the house. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years. So no interest and no pressure. Don't wait for the first freeze to realize your windows aren't cutting it. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to book your free estimate today. You'll be ahead of the game. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Well, you and I, we make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to cash in this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app, use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a ball.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're back with you. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe. What are you hot on right now? What's bothering you the most? Is Matt LaFleur holding this team back? Whatever you got, hit us at 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. What do you say we head on over to Josh in Kenosha? Josh in Kenosha, you're up on the Carbless Talk and text line. What's bothering you most?
Well, with the Packers specifically, it's I feel like Jordan Love is not getting enough blame here as well. He threw another interception that was bailed out by a penalty call. I think it was 20 minutes.
Wait, there was 12 men on the field. There was 12 men on the field.
There was 12 men on the field.
Yeah, but he got bailed out by a penalty. Otherwise, he threw the pick.
No, that's trash.
He fumbled the ball.
Nope, next. Nope, Josh, I love you, but that's trash. That's absolutely trash.
Let's
talk about the.
Yes, it is.
Josh,
it is. It is unequivocally the worst take of the day.
Wow.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. He looked. He saw that there was 12 men. You can throw whatever kind of pass you want. He could have threw it 60 yards down the field. He could have threw it at the defensive end if he wanted to, and I would not have cared.
You don't know if he saw there was 12 on the field or not.
Okay,
Josh, that's what
even
they
the
call
announcers were confused by it. But either way,
okay, go ahead. What about the fumble?
Either
Josh?
way,
About the fumble.
He still fumbled at the end of the first half, and then.
Is the offensive line any fault of theirs at all for just letting the guy run through?
A little bit. And, again, he was also put in a bad situation by his coach. But we all saw what he did at the end of overtime there. It's a complete lack of situational awareness. And I think that stems from Matt LaFleur, but your quarterback is taking it on, which I don't know what's going on with him. Is it because of his personality, his demeanor? He doesn't seem like he's got that dog in him, is what people say, right? He doesn't seem like the guy who can just take over. Like Aaron Rodgers, you know what I mean? Like
Josh, what about yesterday's game with Jordan Love? I mean, he threw for over 300 yards. He almost had 4 touchdown passes. It wasn't for getting Tucker Kraft being called back from a touchdown. The dude balled out. He took you down the field twice in under 4 minutes to get you the lead, and then he took you back down to tie the game, and then he took you back down at the end of the game where your coach got conservative and ended up getting you a field goal to tie the game to walk off with a tie. Like, what more would you want from Jordan Love yesterday?
I'm not blaming Jordan Love for he had a great game. But in those situations, you see him rise up if they're going to be what you guys want him to be, and he just doesn't seem to rise up to that level.
He rose.
I don't know what it is about
him. Thank you, Josh
him.
Kenosha. Just want to continue to get to everyone who's on the line. 800-990-3776.
I love Josh and Kenosha. I do. But I feel like nitpicking, this is not a day to nitpick Jordan Love. I guess if you want to say it was a bad throw at the end, I agree. But more than likely, your head coach needs to tell you, kill. Just spike it. Let's kick the field goal. Boy, you need to have more command there. But I can't take Jordan Love slander. I would have wore a Jordan Love jersey today if it wasn't for the fact that we were at this beautiful golf outing.
Let's go to Randy in a dump truck, 800-990-3776.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It seems like you guys, they scored 40 points, the Cowboys did. The Packers scored 40. Where's this Packer defense? Okay, they might have double or triple teamed Micah. Where's the other players in the team to pick it up when he's getting double teamed?
No doubt. It's a fair criticism of what we saw from the defense. I mean, the cornerbacks, Nate Hobbs, I believe, gave up 2 touchdowns. The passer rating against him was near perfect from Dak. Carrington Valentine got thrown in there late as well, and it was a disaster for him.
He
didn't look like he knew where he was, literally and figuratively, on the field and in his mind. So there's a lot to get to. So I just feel, again, like despite the 40 points from the offense and the 40 points from the defense, the key word here is situationally. What situationally from the last 2 weeks gives you confidence that Matt LaFleur is leading this team in the right direction? The calls about identity, culture, knowing what to expect, the old adage, your team is a reflection of the head coach. Those are all ringing true. And I can't defend the people who I can't defend Matt LaFleur against the people who are saying that, because we have enough evidence as to what this team has put on the field the last 3 years with him making crucial decisions.
Yeah, the biggest thing is Matt LaFleur doesn't have that killer instinct that we really want him to have. When you think about what we've seen in the most recent weeks, it seems like he's coaching up to, play for the field goal. He played for the field goal against the Browns instead of trying to go for a win. He played for the field goal, rightfully so. I get it. You have a great field goal kicker, so you play for the field goal. But again, played for the field goal, got blocked, you lost the game. And then this past week, at the end of the game, as Joe said on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, talked about
Joe. Joe was good.
And so I ain't gonna lie to you. Joe's comment is is way up there. But Joe said when your offense is 5 for 5 inside the red zone and the Cowboys can't stop you, and then all of a sudden at the end of the game, instead of having pace, instead of having tempo, instead of trying to finish off the drive, anybody who watched that football game at the end of the game, you understood what Matt LaFleur was doing. He even said in his press conference, he was playing because he didn't want the Green Bay Packers to get down, stall out, kick a field goal, leave time on the clock for Brandon Aubrey. The problem I have with that is that the Cowboys have not been able to stop you, and now you're focused on, well, what if we get the field goal? You're thinking about worst-case scenario of kicking a field goal and Brandon Aubrey still having time versus thinking about putting the game away and scoring a touchdown like you did the previous time where Romeo Doubs scored the touchdown late. And so that is the problem that I have, is he played entirely too conservative and too soft. He wasn't thinking about going to win this football game. He was thinking about how can we eat up time, make sure we get in field goal range, and then try to take some shots. Where it should have been, how can we get into this end zone? If we don't get into the end zone, then, all right, we'll kick this field goal. He was not focused on the field goal. You can see the difference in the play calling from when they drove down to when they got in the field goal range than before they got in the field goal range.
Do you know what the advantage of the new overtime rules is if you win the toss? You kick it, because you get to see what you have to do.
Yeah.
They saw what they had to do. And despite that, the lack of aggressiveness deciding to kick there made me really agitated at the whole flow of the last sequence from the Green Bay Packers.
We might have been better off, the Cowboys, Michael Parsons not getting that sack and the Cowboys scoring a touchdown, and the Packers having to drive down for a touchdown and then have to make a decision for a 2-point conversion. You might have been better off in that scenario because Matt LaFleur, I'm telling y'all, Matt LaFleur took his foot off the gas. Once he knew we were in field goal range.
Didn't he have a mantra at one time, all gas, no brakes?
Oh, yeah, he got a hell of a lot of brakes. I'm jerking in the car. Slow down. Put a seatbelt on. But I'm telling you this right now.
He's like the driving instructor with the brake on the side. He's always pressing it.
It's just Jordan Love played entirely too well for your coach not to say, you know what, let's go for it all. He did not go for it all yesterday. He played too conservative when he knew that, okay, we can't lose this football game, so I'm not going to take too many chances to maybe potentially lose this game. It was very annoying to see him take the foot off the pedal on that last drive of the football game where the Packers could have went in and won.
Cody in Kentucky responding to Josh in Kenosha, two very different places, but we'd love to hear from you on the Cowboys Talking text line.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Jordan Love is absolutely not the problem at all. One problem with Packers fans is we've got so spoiled having Aaron Rodgers, who will go down in history as being one of the best passers in the football ever. And so we've got this diluted version of what a good quarterback is. Jordan Love is a great quarterback.
I agree.
It is the play calling, and it is the special teams, and it is the O-line that is our big issues right now. And again, like I called in last week, well, here we are again. The refs. I know that wouldn't have stopped all of our problems, but there was several calls that were terrible or not called. The two worst were the non-interference call at the end of the game, and then the intentional grouting that they immediately said, "Oh, there was a receiver in the vicinity."
I've never seen somebody point so fast to nobody.
That was bad. That was actually probably. I mean, the referees, they can determine outcomes of games in a certain sense of a flow of games. That was a huge call because now you're talking about the loss of yards and a loss of a down. And the one thing the Green Bay Packers could not do against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday in the second half was get them in second and longs. It was always 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 4. That would have put them in a longer situation. So you're right. That the referees blew that call, and I think the whole game would have shifted on that because I believe.
Despite all of that,
they
still could have got in the end zone.
Yeah, no, they should have gotten the end zone. Matt LaFleur did not take a chance to get into the end zone. The play calling got extremely conservative at the end of the game there, and that's how you get the end result of a tie. You're able to drive the ball downfield, 14-yard pass, 9-yard run, 13-yard run, 15-yard run, 6-yard run, 7-yard run. But the problem is that they're calling hike 30 seconds, 35 seconds into the play clock. They move with no sense of urgency. He said this was supposed to be a 2-minute offense type thing. Hell, I didn't see it. They had no sense of urgency when they had the ball at the end there.
Stevie chimes in, and I think a lot of people maybe felt somewhat similar. And if you did or didn't, let me know. As the final moments unfolded, it was a revelation. I went numb, realizing regardless of what happens, I do not feel confident whatsoever in a situation in December or January. And I think he's pointing to Matt LaFleur again because we're seeing who he is situationally. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless talking text line. What bothered you most in yesterday's game? A lot of recent Love and LaFleur conversation. A little bit of defense. We started hot on Rich Bisaccia. He skated by too long in our program without coming back to him. But I will send it to Alex Strofe back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All studio. Strophe, no Mr. Irrelevant today for you on YouTube. You want a 60-second timer?
I don't know if I need that long. I'm still very confused, to be real honest with you. I'm very confused about what I watched on Sunday Night Football. I'm confused that Rich Bisaccia is still employed and they allow the same mistake to happen 2 weeks in a row. Not even 2 weeks in a row, 2 kicks in a row on Sunday, which ultimately was the difference maker. The Packers defense only allowed 38 points. Now, only is not the word here. The Packers defense is not as good as we thought it was. They got torched by Dak Prescott, who played a terrific game, and there were some really good plays by some of the players on the Cowboys offense, but they got torched. And Jordan Love, I thought, was good, but there was still a crucial mistake at the end of the first half. The end of overtime was about as confusing as it possibly could be. You have a play, the third to last play, I guess, if you will, if we consider the kick, the final play. That it was that little pass to Emmanuel Wilson, who had a terrific game. But then that play ended, and 22 seconds ran off the clock before Jordan Love took a shot at the end zone. And thank God for the clock operator that they allowed 1 second on the clock.
He's the unsung hero, no doubt. Like, for a home clock operator,
I was
shocked.
I guess a tie is better than a loss, but it doesn't feel better than a loss when you allow 40 points to the Dallas Cowboys, who by all means, I guess in terms of their offense, are averaging more yards than anybody per game this year. But I'm just really, really confused about who the Packers are as we enter the bye week, because I didn't expect that. I expected maybe it'd be a little bit uncomfortably close, but I didn't expect a tie, number one. And number two, I didn't expect 40 points from the Cowboys to make it uncomfortably close. 38 points, really, from their offense.
We couldn't stop no-name guys from the Cowboys. I don't even know who was it, LaFleur? I don't even know. This was some Florenson. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I don't even know who he was. Hey, we didn't know who he was. But
Turpin making plays like he's OBJ on the
man,
sideline.
like, come on. Like, this defense
Keyshawn Nixon thinks it's a throwaway ball from Dak. And
Listen.
just, hey, there's a ball in the air.
Do we just have to deal
Nixon
with Keyshawn?
took that play off. That was strange.
Dude, that I almost lost it because I have a love-hate relationship with Keyshawn.
You and Keyshawn,
because he annoys me because he thinks he's better than what he is. But the way he was jaw-jacking, I'm like, because I think didn't he get a personal foul that last game? I'm like, Keyshawn, just chill with it. But at the end of the game, for the ball to be heaved up there, 50-50 type ball, and Keyshawn to see the receiver break towards it and him to sit there and watch. And then when they complete the pass, you got to feel like a dum-dum. just an idiot. Why would you not compete until the end? You got to want to compete. That is inexcusable to allow for that man to run to the ball.
Head coach accountability issues.
It's not the fact that he caught it. It's the fact that you watched him run back and catch it. You thought he was running back towards air? No, bro. This is a football game. Dak Prescott did a great job scrambling and heaving that up there, and unfortunately, Keyshawn Nixon didn't give the same effort that the receiver and Dak Prescott got in that. That was a huge play.
800-990-3776 is the Carplus Talk and Text line. Rich Bisaccia is a mystery to me.
Ain't no mystery. What do you mean?
What do you mean? It's a mystery that he's still the head coach. What does he have on Matt LaFleur? What does he have?
I just don't get what he does. And I said this last week. I don't know what he does.
He's a good guy.
Maybe he's a good motivator inside the walls, but he's not motivating guys to tackle kick returners. He's not motivating guys to block guys that are going to eventually block your kick.
You didn't see Brandon McManus make those big tackles? He's motivated.
Yeah, that's good.
He almost hurt his back. We would have been messed up. If he had to kick like a 55-yard field goal and his back was hurting, and then he missed the field goal because of his back. Because he had to make tackles.
Rich Bisaccia's fault.
Come on
Brandon's.
now. Dude is like 40. Stop it. He ain't trying to make them tackles.
We're back in 2 minutes. A whole lot to get to with you at 800-990-3776, the Carplus Talk and Text line, or on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. It's just 2 short minutes. And Strofe, you said a lot of things in a short period of time, and I think we can get to almost every single one of them in a different way coming up next.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and football season is here. Are you ready to make money betting on sports? Are you ready to make a winning decision? Are you going to gamble for fun, or are you going to gamble for money? This year, make that decision that will build your bankroll all year long. Go to FatJackSports.com, and for less than $100 a week, make money betting on the games. That's FatJackSports.com. It's a personal portal. It comes to your email. It's hassle-free. It'll make you money. FatJackSports.com.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and when it comes to my home, I want a team that I can trust, and that's Lifetime Home Services. From cleaner air and radon safety to custom closets, window treatments, and home renovations, they do it all under one roof. What I'm most excited about right now is their epoxy floors. They make your garage clean, durable, and organized with shelving and storage options to get everything off the floor. For over 30 years, families just like ours have trusted Lifetime Home Services to make their homes safer and better looking. Trusted solutions, lifetime results. Schedule today at lifetimehomeservices.com.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Still no Bradley Nortman, but you got Ben Brust and Kyle Wallace. We're from Wazaki County's Country Club, courtesy of Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their VIP membership services team. We have it on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Is Matt LaFleur holding the Green Bay Packers back? 62% say yes, 38% say no. Strofe's running the show. Back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call SL studio. And if you have anything to get off your chest, we're here for you. I think I think we need to do a better job as we take a look inside, a little accountability time, to be there for people. Because we're a little hot because naturally when you see a game end like that, you get hot. I think we need to be there for people a little bit more.
Not today.
Okay, fine.
It's
I'll be there
Monday.
for people.
Yeah.
Kyle, you do you.
Listen, I'm the one with the pitchfork right now. We leave at dawn. That's the way I feel right now.
800-990-ESPN is the Carbos Talking text line. We bring in Diana and McGuanago. Yes, Diana, go ahead. Ream me out.
Yeah, Benjamin, I told you you were going to get a phone call if they lost. A tie is not good enough for me.
It's not good enough for me either. But take your gripe off. Take your gripe out with that
Dallas was so easy. Well, hey, according to you, Dallas was so easy to beat. They're such a crummy football team. What happened? How'd they score 40 points?
Thank you, Diana, from McGuanago.
No, can you tell me that? I want an answer.
Yes. How did they score 40 points? Well, Rich Bisaccia has the worst special teams in the NFL. Micah Parsons had a great performance via Pro Football Focus, but Rashawn Gary, who I raved about on Friday, did not make as big of an impact. Devontae Wyatt got hurt. I think that actually did not help this team from an interior perspective. They did not adjust at all. They continued to not get enough overall pressure to continue to run the same zone in which they were leaving gaps on the sideline in between the safety and the cornerbacks. Yeah, I mean, also, as Strofe said, it's not good. They gave up 38 points because Rich Bisaccia owes us 2. If the tie comes back to haunt us, it goes back to Rich Bisaccia. So that's what I got for you, Diana. I'm not pleased either. You think anybody in their right mind want to stay up Sunday night to watch the finish the way it did? No.
Yeah, I'll say this. Dirty D, I had all the confidence in the world. Week 1, I was confident. Week 2, I was extremely confident. Week 3, I was very confident. And even week 4, last night, I was extremely confident. All that is out the window. Like, I still think this is a good football team, but I don't know what this football team is, right? I thought we were for sure in the top 3. I thought it was the Green Bay Packers, the Philadelphia Eagles, who, by the way, their quarterback completed 0 passes in the second half, and the Detroit Lions. Those were the 3 teams that I thought were the clear leaders in the NFC. After last night, I can't say with any, conviction and confidence that the Green Bay Packers, though we beat the Detroit Lions, that we can go ahead and beat the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. This team needs to do a lot of soul searching over this break and figure out who the heck they are. But more importantly, Matt LaFleur needs to figure out what is it that he wants this team to be based off the personality and the coach that he is. Because right now, they don't know who they are, and I think a lot of that has to do with the coach not knowing who the heck he is.
Let's go to Hank in New Berlin. You're up on the Carbos Talking text line, Hank.
Okay, I have a question on a call in last night's game, in which the play was where Dak Prescott, the ball slipped out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting older, but I swear that ball grazed the helmet of an offensive lineman, which would have meant illegal touching, and why wasn't it looked at?
I don't know about the illegal touching, but
I think if it slips, I don't think
because depending on the slip and the momentum, it could be a fumble or it could be an incomplete pass. It looked like it was an incomplete pass. I don't know if it slipped. It looked like he was actually just trying to kill it, and he threw it into the ground. The biggest thing on that one in question that we discussed before, it looks like it should have been intentional grounding because there was no one within 15 yards of that pass.
Yeah, and Hank, I do appreciate the call. It just leads to the fact that I think Diana's got me in a place of I really, and you did too, and you've been spot on in terms of those first 2 games. Last week was obviously one where I think 99 times out of 100 you win that game up 10-0 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. And now you're in a situation where we're reacting to what is just a lot of confusion. A confusion of how it ended up that way late in the game. How you could have the same mistakes over and over. Another block kicked, as Alex Strofe mentioned. Rich Bisaccia, being the associate head coach, getting paid $2.2 million to have special teams play as poorly as they did. A defense somehow shut the Lions down, the Commanders down, and do basically everything they need to do against the Browns, except, the Browns getting handed a gift from Jordan Love in a short field. It's just confusion. It literally doesn't seem possible that team could give up 40 points to the Cowboys. Excuse me, 38. 38 points to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They are too talented. And if you do, here's one thing I'm seeing sparingly. If you don't think they're talented and you don't think it's on Matt LaFleur, then you think it's on Goody.
No, they're
but
talented.
But I can't. Based off what there's been 4 games, and based off what I've seen, I can't say that the talent isn't there.
No.
I just can't. It is there, and I know there's injuries. And the Week 5 bye comes at a good time. But I am sitting here in a spot of asking the same questions I feel like I've been asking myself for the last 2 years. Who are the Green Bay Packers? And I'm not going to listen to the youngest team in the NFL. You know why? Because the Packers themselves, Matt LaFleur and all of them have acknowledged it's no longer something you can use. Anybody, Jason Wilde says it, Mark Tauscher says it. These guys are in their second, third,
and fourth
years in the NFL. They've been in the same coaching system with Matt LaFleur. Jeff Hafley made them better throughout the first 3 weeks. Now, the only thing I can't say is that Rich Bisaccia makes the team better, because I can't say that because I feel like I'd be lying to you. But I'm having a tough time in this 3rd year of Jordan Love. We all knew when Aaron Rodgers was on the Green Bay Packers, you were going to compete other than the last year, right? 2019, 2020, 2021. 2022 was a train wreck for many reasons.
Even the last year you went
cultivated to that
8-9.
point. But it cultivated to a point where it was unhealthy for everyone. Before that, you knew what the expectations were. Somehow, some way, they're going to get to the playoffs. If you get to the playoffs, you have a chance. The chance feels like you're going to get there, and the person that could stop you is the person leading the team. That's how much trust I think I have in Matt LaFleur, and it's not a lot.
Well, the job of a coach is to get the best and the most out of his players. And so the expectation for Matt LaFleur is to elevate this team. Now, Matt LaFleur had a cheat code when he came into the league. It's a blessing and a curse because he had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time as his quarterback. So when he was going through his growing pains as a coach, he can lean on having Aaron Rodgers to save the day. And obviously Aaron Rodgers did not save the day enough in the playoffs based off his offensive performance in the playoffs the last couple times around. And so that's the biggest thing, is that Matt LaFleur now has to be his own man, and he has done a good job, but he has not done a sufficient enough a job being his own man. But more importantly, when I look at Rich Bisaccia, someone needs to be held accountable. If you want to send a message of this is not good enough, you send a message of letting and relieving him of his duties of being the special teams coach, because you let everybody in that locker room know we love Rich. He matters to us. But the one thing we will not do, we will not love someone who is continuing to make the same mistakes or not getting the most out of players enough, where we're going to sacrifice victories. It is not fair to this team. It's not fair to this organization for Rich Bisaccia to sit here and not live up to the expectations and make sure that these special teams is as special and as great as it can be. It is inexcusable to have a missed field goal in 1 week, a blocked field goal in another week, and a blocked field goal another week that was returned for a 2-point conversion type thing. That is unacceptable, and it's unacceptable about how this kickoff coverage has been. This is all bad. In the first couple weeks, this is bad. And if you continue on this pathway, guess what?
It's worse than bad, Kyle. Bad is putting it in.
But if
we've seen bad.
But we have to understand, special teams can lose games. You know how we know that? Because remember the 49er game where the Packers had, and guess what?
2021,
I think it was.
which would have been obviously the 22 of January, in which you lost at home as the number 1 seed.
But the problem is special teams lost you that football game. Special teams can lose you games. We saw with field goals, with the fact that he's praying when Anders Carlson goes onto the field to kick field goals. Special teams can lose you football games. So with that being said, if Rich Bisaccia is a weak link and he can cause you from being a championship team, he's got to go, and he'll send a message to this team that we will not allow anyone, no one, to sit here and drag us down, because that's what Rich Bisaccia is doing right now as a special teams coordinator.
I think keeping him around is a bad reflection of him as a coach as well, right? I'm keeping my guy around. And
what's the standard?
What happens when, it comes back to bite you later, when your new president is evaluating you in this with 2 years left in your contract and you want to play for your job? You said the word unfair a lot. I think it's also unfair to Palermo's, because Palermo should have a Victory Monday right now. I should be telling you about Victory Monday, brought to you by Palermo's. But what I can still tell you is I went to the local grocer and I have the perfect combination. I have the Boss Hog, which is the original Screamin' Sicilian, ready to go. I have the Tavern Style, which is a thin and crispy, ready to go. And I have a Cheez-It Pizza, which the bake time's 8 minutes, ready to go.
That's
I was
quick.
checking out, they said, Cheez-It Pizza? And then I got to tell him how the bake time is 8 minutes and how great it is, the perfect mold of the Cheez-It flavor with your normal. When I say normal, it's not like normal crust, but I know that it's the Palermo's crust that they mix it together. And I can't wait to try that next time. And I was like, you're not going to try it. You're going to be having it over and over and over again. And the real test I'm going to have is, since my wife is out of town, do I end up doing frozen pizza Monday, frozen pizza Tuesday, frozen pizza Wednesday for me and my daughter?
Hey, you ain't missing out. I had Palermo's. We couldn't choose which one we wanted, so we had both of them, the barbecue chicken and then the I'm stuffed pizza as well.
That's the stuffed crust cream and Sicilian with that cheese. So find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer, and they were robbed of Victory Monday. And I will do my best to eat as much Palermo's to make up for what happened yesterday. Jason Wilde is going to break down everything from yesterday with us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We have an accident on 4394 southbound, right about at National Avenue, off on the right shoulder. And the right lane is also blocked by a squad there. It is going to be slow heading through the Marquette. As a matter of fact, the backups literally start at Keefe. On southbound 41, backups from just south of Main Street, Menominee Falls, down to just before Good Hope Road. And then northbound's going to be slow from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lake, 56 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof siding and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
We have had great offenses around here for a long time. And we've sat there, can the defense be good enough? And we have #fired every coordinator on defense we've seen.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We don't need no more fire. The hashtag guys, because Jeff Hafley ain't going to get, you're not going to get hashtagged with Haf because he's been an absolute home run hire.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic. Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water. Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular. The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman. Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist, the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's. We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
He is a good general manager. Anybody who disputes that, they have other issues.
Holding everybody accountable.
I'm not sure that was good enough for us to even play on our show.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. No Nortman. You got Ben Brust and Kyle Wallace, the Packer backer, with you. Joining us now across ESPN Wisconsin is Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason 9 to noon across these very stations. Jason, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm glad somebody's great.
Yeah.
I am happy to hear that you're great as well.
It's nice not to have the outcomes of the football team affect your mood. I'm blessed that way.
No, you're rubbing it in. You went too far there. You went too far there. You know.
Well, I'm a little worried
he can be on a Monday.
That's funny that you say that because I'm a little worried that you guys might be going a little bit too far too.
Really?
All right, please share.
Well, no, I'm eager to hear where you guys are at in the wake of this defeat, and especially Kyle, who, you know, his team has gone from going 17-0 to 2-0 to 2-1 to 2-1-1. So now, you know, I assume he's, you know, anticipating 15-1-1. But I'm guessing that he's overreacting a little bit. That's just my instinct.
I don't think I'm overreacting too much, but let me know, Jason. So really, when I look at this game, I'm not mad at Jordan Love at all. I'm very disappointed with Matt LaFleur, but the eerie for me is focused on Rich Bisaccia, because when you look at week after week, it seems like special teams is doing something to negatively impact his team. Now, he can't control a missed field goal from Brandon McManus. That happens, right? But a blocked field goal one week, and then a blocked field goal the week after that gets returned for 2 points, so basically it's a 3-point swing, and then poor kickoff coverage, especially at the end of that game yesterday where your kicker is making tackles at the 40 or 50-yard line. That's not great. So, Jason, how does Rich Bisaccia still have the duties of being the special teams coordinator?
Yeah, he's Matt LaFleur's consigliere, and so that buys him a lot of goodwill. You're not mad at Jordan Love at all?
No, because I feel like the sack at the end of the half was the offensive line just being very, very bad in the first half that caused that to happen.
Well, what about not getting everybody up to the line and taking it down to 1 second on the final play before the game-tying field goal at the end of overtime?
Whose job is to really coach him up on that? Because on that whole
he's come on, he's in his third year as a starter. He knows what the clock says. Yeah, he's got to have more urgency too, and the rest of his guys do.
I agree.
On
who
the
coaches that urgency?
Oh, come on! But again, who coaches that urgency?
Matt LaFleur
has to be
Matt LaFleur needs to be saying, "Hey, let's go," because they were not lackadaisical, but they were moving. They weren't moving fast.
No, they were.
Really.
I think lackadaisical. I think that's fair. I think they were. But again, but it has to be. Look, and I know we live in a world where everything is it is this person's fault, or this is the one reason why they lost, or whatever it may be. There is ample blame to go around. I am certainly, when I say that some of that is Jordan Love's responsibility, that doesn't mean it's solely his responsibility. The lollygaggers, if you've ever seen Bull Durham, you lollygag around the bases. The lollygaggers on offense, they all lacked urgency, so they all deserve some of that. Certainly, Matt LaFleur deserves criticism for that too. So again, it's not exclusively Jordan Love, but in that, it's in the most critical moment of the game. It's the difference, frankly, and I think it was Adam Schefter that pointed this out, if that throw goes over Jack Sanborn, former Badger, and Matthew Golden, instead of hitting Jack Sanborn, that last second ticks away, and they lose. And so, to say, oh, I'm not mad at Jordan Love, I'm not saying you should be necessarily mad at him, but he bears some responsibility. Matt LaFleur bears a lot of responsibility. It was his harebrained idea to try and put points on the board at the end of the half when his guys had like 20 seconds and no timeouts. That was dumb. He absolutely deserves criticism for that. He deserves criticism for playing what I would say was to not to lose. And as Tausch pointed out on our show this morning, it was almost as if I'd love to score here, but I don't want to score too fast because then they could come back and score on us and then we'll lose. And the key is you better score first before anything else. And you almost didn't, again, because of the slow playing that they did. So, again, when you and I went with this as my subject line on my daily newsletter for Channel 3, Packers lose 40-40, because that's exactly how it felt, right? And so when it comes out that way, there are lots of people that deserve criticism. Now that I feel like I needed to at least say that about your comment on Love. That all said, it is time for myself and others to ask more pointed questions of Rich Bisaccia. And I'm still trying to formulate. I don't know when he's going to be available. There's no availability today. That might be, LaFleur and coaches sometime tomorrow, hopefully not during our show, because the players are off starting tomorrow. There used to be a time, and if this was the early days of my career when Mike Sherman was the head coach, and if you played poorly in the game going into the bye, he made you practice, and he shortened the number of days off you got. They can't do that anymore. That is against the rules. But if there was ever a time where they would deserve it in today's climate, this game would be it. But Rich Bisaccia, the question that has to be asked is, Rich, your reputation preceded you when you got here. You had a lot of success as a special teams coordinator in this league. Why is it that this has not emerged in these 4 years as one of the top special teams groups in the league? So, again, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to present that question because, I don't care if he's pissed at me. Like, this is a fair critique. I don't think that's, I'm not going to go in there and say.
You're worried about getting there on time.
I do worry about that because nobody likes to be late, right? But it's true that, we have to ask questions that sometimes people don't like. I also want to make sure that I get an actual answer. So, like, if I get up there and go, how the hell do you still have a job with the work you're doing? Most people would get fired for how crappy you have been, but you're still there. What's the deal, man? That's not going to get us what we want, right? But I know that's how people feel.
You could say, that's not a question from me. That's a question from the Car Blue Talking text line right now.
Yeah, I think it's a fair criticism. He certainly deserves criticism. Matt LaFleur deserves to be asked about why they can't see. This is a sneakier, obviously the blocked kicks are a problem, right? Everyone knows that. But one of the things that I don't understand is putting Matthew Golden out there as your punt returner when he told us point blank last week he had never returned punts before now. Like, he didn't do it in high school at all. He didn't do it in college at Houston or at Texas. So, that's why would you – I know he's a good athlete, and I'm sure you think he can do it. But, it's not like he spent all of training camp working on it, right? It's not like he had – they said, okay, we're going to start prepping you to be our punt returner because Jaden Reed's going to break his collarbone. So they throw him out there to the Wolves with no experience beyond what he's gotten in the last couple of weeks and catching some punts during training camp, but not like full. He has no feel. Like he's let the ball bounce twice. He did that spin move where he just got obliterated. Like I'm glad they took him off the field. Now, of course, they replaced him with a guy wearing a Guardian cap who has a history of concussions. So I'm not sure that was the best decision either.
Jason, I was thinking the same thing.
Baby girl, my fiance said, "Oh, look at that little hat he has on."
Look, I'm going to let you frame the question however you feel is best because you've done this a lot longer than I have. I guess as we're talking with Jason Wilde here on Kyle Brust Nortman, I think the frustrating thing as I watch the Green Bay Packers is listening. I think you've said either you've preached this or the Packers have preached this. Either way, this is a phrase that works. Don't make the same mistakes twice.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally in back-to-back weeks. And then on top of that, you're watching Brandon Aubrey kick it to the 2-yard line perfectly into the end zone, so the Packers have to take it to the 20. And as Kyle mentioned, McManus has to make tackles. Like there was just too many things. And then I switch gears here. I know it's two different situations, but we're talking about situational football in a different week. Last week, situational football. Do you pass? Do you trust the quarterback? Do you run? And it's almost like there's a lot of confusion today amongst fans, in my opinion. And it's a question that I feel like many times we've asked about the Green Bay Packers under Matt LaFleur post Aaron Rodgers is who are they? Everyone points to different coaches of what the identity is and the culture and the going for it, not going for it. I feel like it's fair to have confusion of what Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers really are. Do you have a clear answer through these 3 years with Jordan, 2+ years with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, no. I mean, when we saw some of it finally yesterday, but when they're running the ball effectively, right? That like Aaron Jones had a really good year, really good second half, I should say, in 2023, which coincided with him playing really well. Obviously, last year Josh Jacobs was fantastic, and he showed glimpses of that again yesterday. And Emmanuel Wilson was fantastic. They should have never thrown him the ball on that last play before the incompletion with 1 second left. Like, I don't know why that was a mistake by Jordan too. We got to be truthful about it. But again, the play call probably didn't help him, and Matt LaFleur admitted that. But no, they don't. Look, the identity of your team, or at least of your offense or defense, whatever side of the ball you're talking about, is predicated on who your stars are, who is the guy that you look to in crunch time, right? And on defense, you look to Xavier McKinney to come up with a big play in the back end. You look to Rashawn Gary, who was invisible largely yesterday, it felt like, after leading the league in sacks through 3 games. You look to Micah Parsons now, who had the one really impact play where I think he prevented the touchdown with that sack. But otherwise, he had some pressures, no doubt about it, but he certainly didn't tilt the field significantly in their direction. And then on offense, you need Jordan Love to be that guy. And in fairness to him, Tausch said this today on our show that play, Aaron Rodgers doesn't do that. Like, Aaron Rodgers they don't end the game the way they did on offense if Aaron Rodgers is their quarterback. And I said, in fairness, they might end the game that way if it's the 3rd game of his 3rd year as the starter, or 4th game of his 3rd year as the starter, right? Like, if you think back to 2010, there were some bumps in the road for that team too.
Yeah.
And so, maybe Jordan Love's not quite there yet, but you need him to get there. You need him to reach the point where when the game is on the line like that, you're not sitting there as a Packers fan questioning whether you could trust him, feeling nervous about whether or not he's going to make the right play, because this is 2 weeks in a row in a loss and a tie that feels like a loss, where in the final seconds, and his apologists, who he doesn't need or ask for, but they're out there, can say, well, it's LaFleur's fault and it's Bisaccia's fault. And yeah, it's their fault too. It's not exclusively Jordan's fault. But your identity will be forged by how he plays in crunch time. And if you remember, in Rodgers' development into becoming the star that he became, there were times when he didn't get it done at crunch time either. So let's not pretend that this is a Jordan Love only thing and he can't become a great quarterback. But right now he's not there yet. And great quarterbacks make the plays in those moments, and he has not made them at this point. He had a great game otherwise.
I hear you, Jason. I guess it's just so hard for me to bring criticism down on Jordan Love when he was able to drive you downfield to get the go ahead and then drive you downfield to tie the game.
Oh, he was great. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He had a phenomenal game. Like, they were 9 of their first 11 on third down. He was a freaking stud yesterday. But you are also judged on what you do in the final seconds. And 2 weeks in a row, they haven't gotten it done. That doesn't change how good he was the rest of the game. Because, my God, he brought it back from what? 16-13, 23-20, 30-27, and 37-34, right? Like, he brought him back like 5 times to force overtime. So they were behind. It was back and forth. So he deserves all the credit in the world for that. He threw for over 300 yards. He threw 3 touchdown passes. He had a great run with his legs. Again, and this is why I'm not good at this job, because I am always so nuanced, and that's not always the easiest way to do it.
Jason, I just got a quick question with the DBs. Hobbs, Nixon, Valentine. What happened yesterday?
They didn't get enough pressure, and they kept doing zone.
Yeah, I thought Nixon played fine, except for, obviously, I think he just assumed that play was over, which clearly it wasn't, and ends up being an enormous play. Well, he's standing in the end zone. I don't know if he had his hands on his hips or not, but it felt like it. And then, I had my doubts about Hobbs from the beginning. Right now, I know we all love Goody, and we think he's done an amazing job building this team, but the early returns on Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs are not positive. They've had injuries. Nate Hobbs did not play well yesterday before he went out, and then Stroh's guy, Carrington Valentine, went in and played just as poorly. And that's how you end up with a team that didn't have CD Lamb available tying you.
Well, Jason, I feel like we could do this for another 3 hours, but we have to continue the program and look forward to talking to you on Thursday and hearing whatever you get to ask Rich Bisaccia when you get the chance.
Yeah, I don't want to do this for 3 more hours either, so we're good then. All right, boys. I appreciate you. Take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to him. Monday through Friday.
I mean, no, Jason's good. Jason did a good job trying to make me feel better and also trying to settle me in.
The nuance doesn't change anything that I feel.
No, I mean, he wanted to bring something up before he got to Rich Bisaccia, and he basically said it. Like, he agrees. Rich Bisaccia is a problem. He is absolutely a problem. But
what about the fact as he tries to skate by, like, Jordan Love should be doing this in year 3. Like, there was a 2-minute there was timeouts too. Like, what was the conversation between Matt and Jordan? Like, that's what I want to know, right? Like, hey, like
he should be on the side. If he wanted him to spike it, right? He should be on the sideline doing this, spike,
or he's in his helmet
controlling
before a certain amount of time before it goes away. Hurry!
But the guys were jogging slow back to the line. Yes,
what was the expectation?
And that's my whole thing is that if you see somebody jogging on the football field and you think they need to have a sense of urgency, you light them up. Let's go. But a place you should go, American Family Insurance, because life's better with American Family Insurance. That's because their agents will make you feel totally protected with a home, auto, or life policy that is right for you. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams. You already know what it is. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Visit them today at amfam.com to find an agent near you. Or if you want to get a quote instantly for a home or auto insurance, all you got to do is go to amfam.com and boom, just like that, you'll be able to have a quote right there. If you're like me, you like talking to somebody, you can also find an agent near you. Of course, always with American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance.
Does anyone feel any better? Stroh, Kyle?
No.
Well, we'll dig deeper into that next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 43, we've got some backups from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette interchange. We've also got westbound 94 tightening up a bit from about 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. 894 southbound slowing down from Greenfield Avenue down to about Oklahoma Avenue. More delays from Beloit Road into the Hale. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast. Tonight mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lake, 56 inland. Tomorrow mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. Weather's brought to you by Avondale Roofing. Raise the roof and your standards with Avondale Roofing, your trusted partner for over 30 years. Remember, they get on top so you don't have to. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
It was a wild one in Dallas on Sunday night as the Packers and Cowboys game ended in a tie after Brandon McManus drilled a field goal as time expired in overtime. Here's what quarterback Jordan Love had to say following the tie.
So I have no doubt in that. I know we're still a really good team, but it comes down to on Sundays coming out here and performing, executing at a high level. And so, there is some disappointment in these past 2 weeks, but there's still a lot of stuff to clean up, and we still got a long season ahead of us, and I still know what type of team we are.
The Packers will get a chance to reset now as they'll head into their bye week with a 2-1-1 record.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Concerned about fraud? Tri-City's got your back. Use debit card alerts. Help stop a card hack. You'll get notified when your card's being used so you can prevent your account from abuse. Tri-City National Bank, member FDIC.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Carl Walls. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no interest for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
I'm Pat Dunphy of Cannon & Dunphy, and I'm reaching out to you today not as an attorney, but as chair of the board of directors of Guest House. It's an organization that's been dedicated to dealing with the root causes of homelessness in Milwaukee for over 40 years. Its mission is to treat the homeless with dignity and help them rebuild their lives. So help us help the homeless by investing in the Guest House and the Milwaukee community. And also consider attending our gala on Thursday, November 13th.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Obviously, they didn't come down here to tie a football game, but that's what happened. It's disappointing in regards to just too many critical mistakes that led to that tie. Give Dallas credit. They did a great job offensively, moving the ball down the field. But there's a lot of things that we all have to clean up, starting with myself. I mean, they're trying to be aggressive at the end of the half, and that really bit us in the butt.
Matt LaFleur lost a little puppy at the podium.
That's pretty accurate.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, live from Ozaukee County Country Club. It's been a beautiful day out here. Potawatomi membership VIP services. Luis from Potawatomi. Everyone is just fantastic. The sunshine helps, but it doesn't take away the lack of direction, the confusion that I think a lot of fans feel as to how the 40-40 tie was the result yesterday in Sunday Night Football. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776.
I feel like the last time the Packers tied, it actually worked in our favor when we made the playoffs.
There's optimistic Kyle. I want to send it back to Strofe. Strofe, do you feel any better?
No.
Okay.
Why would I feel better?
I don't know, just like listening to fans, Jason Wilde.
I think everybody's maybe not overreacting, but reacting maybe a little too viscerally. There was a lot of bad that came out of that game. I'm not disagreeing with that, but let's stop acting like Matt LaFleur deserves to get fired.
Do you think he deserves to be on the hot seat, though? Like, and when I say hot seat, I mean to be evaluated. So, okay, because here's my thing. I like Matt LaFleur. They keep him after the season, fine. But I wouldn't be opposed to. If we continue to see these type of, lack thereof in the game clock management, and seeing the same problems over and over, if special teams continues to be a problem, and say this team goes, 10-7, gets put out in the first round.
They can't go 10-7.
I'm sorry. 10-6-1. 10-6-1. Would it be like, maybe we can look in another direction? Would you be mad if Ed Policy looked in a different direction?
I mean, I need to see how it plays out, but I look, I get the anger toward him, and I'm sick of the one thing I will say, I'm sick of these same responses after bad games. I guess I can't say after losses because it was a tie last night, but I've got to be better. Then be better. Just be better then. Right?
Every time.
It's the same thing every time they lose or tie.
Guess what? It starts with me.
Yeah, it's the same thing we hear every week. And again, 40 points offensively is good.
That's
really good. 40 points is a lot of points. But
dude,
I mean, in order of the things I'm upset with, number one is the defense. We crown their asses way too early.
I hate the defense again.
You don't want to overreact/react, but like through 3 weeks they still.
Yeah, but we crown their ass. But yes, if they were going to allow that to a CeeDee Lamb-less, centerless, and guardless Cowboys offense, they left 38 points on defense yesterday. 38.
So you're going to take yesterday's game and make that negate anything you saw in the first 3 weeks?
I don't think we can confidently say they're the best defense in the NFL anymore. No. I still think they're a good group. But
I think that's fair to say, but they still have the potential to be a top 5 defense.
Totally. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think through 3 weeks, I was confidently saying they're the best defense in the league because that's what they showed us through 3 weeks. Now, after week 4, it's pretty clear I don't think we can confidently say they are because you let a Cowboys offense without their best player smoke you. 38 points you allowed. So that's a part that's troublesome to me. I thought Micah Parsons was still good, despite I think he only had the one sack that was barely a sack. But a lot of pressures, obviously took a lot of. But where was Rashawn Gary? Where was Lucas Van Ness?
Not getting to the quarterback.
Where was Edrin Cooper?
Strofe,
missing tackles, actually.
The biggest issue I see with this Green Bay Packers defense is the Packers have not forced a lot of turnovers, and turnovers are so key.
Yeah, this whole ball king thing we did all offseason, they have 0 fumbles forced through 4 weeks.
Yeah,
0.
It is so essential because
hey, react properly.
I'm stating facts.
No, the turnovers are essential because of that big momentum shift that they are. You saw it with the Green Bay Packers at the end of the half. You saw what that sack did. You saw it last week with the interception. Those are big momentum shifts where other teams can capitalize on it, and the Green Bay Packers have not gotten enough takeaways this year. Now, teams haven't taken too many shots. Yesterday they took shots, but teams haven't given us too many opportunities, and we haven't had any
real quick here. Tell me if I'm off base here. I don't think I am, because Matt LaFleur, as we heard him in his press conference say, a little too aggressive, and it bit him in the butt a little bit at the end of the
first half.
I hate that.
It's
back-to-back halves. You make a crucial mistake.
But let me say this. He doesn't have a feel for the game, right? He decided, went up 7-0, I believe, that when it was 4th and 2, that he was going to punt it and trust the defense.
I think that's great.
But he's
again,
learning from past history, so I actually don't think we can get mad at him for that.
I get that, but then where's that same energy in that spot? That's what I'm saying.
At
He's
the end
doing
of the
one
half?
thing. Yeah, at the end of the half.
Well,
and then acting different at the end of the half.
But everybody said he was too conservative when he should be aggressive, and he was too aggressive when he should be conservative. That's
he should be listening to everybody. He shouldn't be listening to everybody. He should be who he wants to be.
But don't change your tone a week later, then.
I'm not changing my tone
you
whatsoever.
You were the exact two who were calling for that last week.
I'm happy that he was aggressive at the end of the half. I understand that it probably wasn't the best scenario. It was kind of weird because I'm like, okay, I don't back off now. But I'm not backing off. I was happy
Ben,
about him being aggressive.
No, I brought up the scenario.
You were the one last week that said he should have done it in that spot. So when he does the opposite, now you can't call him on it. That's what you wanted last week.
I have not faulted him for being aggressive. I only faulted him for not having a control.
I'm talking to Ben.
What can you read, Strofe, my note from the game?
4th and 2, punt. Teams can't score the length of the field against the defense. Get used to it. Yeah.
That was my reaction, and I was just bringing up the scenario.
At that scenario, you were correct. But then they had how many 90-yard drives did they allow after that?
But I was wrong after that.
In your defense, I tweeted in the first half that Keyshawn Nixon's been so good this year, he probably doesn't get enough credit. And then he just took a play off that led to that eventual
Hey, I'm not going to lie. Through one quarter, everyone's takes were magnificent.
Yeah, right.
One quarter through quarter and a half. It didn't just change just like that.
Ben Brust, Kyle Walsh. Yeah, let's not all get snippy with each other. We can't stop turning on each other.
Strofe is really getting snippy. Shut up. I'm not talking to you, Kyle. I'm talking to you.
As I have my note agreeing with him.
Hold on.
I'm just bringing up the scenario from last game. Kyle, I want to know what people think.
Kyle, I was saying something that Ben said last week, and then he was flipping it on, and you started defending yourself. I was never talking to you.
I didn't want to be included because you said you guys.
All you had to do was shut up, and you would have been included.
I don't want to be included.
Any other thoughts and feelings you may have, ESPN Madison and Beaver Dam? You got about 10 minutes before we go to the 414 hour at 4, so we want to hear from you. We'll be back shortly. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from Ozaukee County Country Club, courtesy of Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Kid's got the longest rope in radio.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You could take that one of two ways, and I agree with both.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, King. I see you, the confident.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Students can't prepare for future jobs they don't know exist. At Junior Achievement, we help students meet their future selves. With the support of Manpower Group and volunteers from all walks of life, JA programs help young people explore careers, build resumes, and envision bold futures. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $250 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Home buyers are raving about their experiences with the Citizens Bank mortgage team.
Aaron helped me get pre-approved really fast, like before the open house even started.
I called Devin so many times with questions, and he always answered.
It's more than a mortgage. It's your future. And at Citizens Bank, we make it personal. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/mortgage. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender. NMLS 746419.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Rich Eisen.
It is a quarterback-driven league, and everything that I'm reading and also gleaning from those we talk to here on this show, as well as those who I talk to around, the 4 and out inside the 10-yard line with the game 22-9, with enough timeouts and a 2-minute warning to try and get the ball back and win the game with no timeouts remaining. That Russ throwing one so far up the tunnel, that it was an intentional grounding, and then not doing very much on a quarterback draw. You could say it's a play call. And then on 3rd and 4th down, throwing it out of the back of the end zone rather than putting it on a wide receiver and maybe getting a flag, maybe getting something. You could say the protection was bad. But yesterday, Schlereth said it was because he didn't want to throw an interception because that counts on a ledger and is a legacy breaker. Called it selfish, which is one way to put it. Another way to look at it is Russ was fighting for his life and he's just throwing it away, which is making no sense. I heard that was the last one.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Make sure you head on over to one of the great locations in Madison or the New Berlin location in Milwaukee because the Princeton Club could help you find your better tomorrow. You can have a strong body, a strong mind, and help provide a strong community. With the free childcare with memberships, open 24/7, they provide everything you need. No goal is too big or too small. You feel the community around you cheering for you to get better, and you can do it at the Princeton Club. Find your better tomorrow. Get a tour and check it out, the Princeton Club. Quickly here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, we're going to go to Mo in Illinois to wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin Hour. You're on the Carbless Talk and Text line, Mo.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet for you guys. Let's face the reality and the facts here. All right, let's not play patty cake today. The Packers have the worst coach in the NFC North. We got the worst special teams unit in the NFL. As it stands right now, it's not out of the realm of possibility to say that the Lions and Bears are better than us. And I guess the silver lining to conclude is that I do believe Jordan Love is the most talented quarterback in our division. It's just a matter of consistency.
That's a lot there. I like that you brought a lot. I don't think you can say that Ben Johnson's a better coach through 4 games.
No.
Like it's just like we're reaching here.
I would not say that.
We're reaching big time. LaFleur still has some 13-win seasons and a pretty good regular season record. He needs to have some success with his team down the stretch. Strophy, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say to me? How much time we got?
Well, when I said it to you, it was a minute. We're now down to 35 seconds.
All right, well, you're going to have Jim, Matt, and Molly in Madison, the damn sports show in Beaver Dam.
How long have you been doing this?
Dude, the return in the ear is tough when
Well, you can hear music, which means a minute.
Okay, Stroh.
You've gone too far now. You've gone too far now.
Well, common
Kyle
sense
and I will be back here.
around
I'm not going to talk to Strofe the rest of the show. We're back in 2 minutes. Talk to you then.
KBN's the show that never ends.
Southbound 43 backing up from just before Capitol Drive, stretching all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. More delays from Beecher Street down towards the KK River crossing. Westbound 94, you got your backups from just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is heavy from 84th Street to about 35th. And then on southbound 894, backing up from about Greenfield Avenue all the way down into the Hale. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 56 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6.25 to 15.75 ounce selected varieties Frito-Lay Doritos, Sun Chips, Ruffles, or Tostitos dip, 2 for $7. 24-pack selected varieties Pure Life Water, $3.99. 14-ounce or 3-count selected varieties Haagen-Dazs ice cream or bars, $3.99. 4.5 to 5.3 ounce selected varieties Chobani Flip Greek yogurt, 2 for $3.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into the Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
He is Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust. We're live from Ozaukee County Country Club, courtesy of Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their VIP membership services. I think I was just next to the gentleman with the closest to the pin to win $1,000 of free play on hole 9. And if you hit a hole-in-one on hole 9, you would have $10,000 of free play. Would it have been fair if I hit the hole-in-one, which I did not come close. I played well, but I completely choked. Didn't even put it close. If I would have gotten a hole-in-one, is it fair to skip the show?
Would you have put it all on black for us?
No, it's free play for the machine. I don't think they just give me $10,000 chips. And no, I would not have done that. I probably would have $5,000 on black and then kept the $5,000 to go play elsewhere.
No, it wouldn't have been fair because you could have left right after work to go down to Potawatomi.
No, because my wife's out of town, so I'm solo bolo for
Are babies allowed in?
Are babies allowed in Potawatomi Casino Hotel?
That's a valid question. I think it's
Are babies allowed at Potawatomi Casino Hotel? Do they need IDs? That's a no. That's a no.
I'm going to say, little Izzy can come on, teach her early. Grab it, take it down. Just like, good job, girl. Good job.
No, I probably shouldn't be teaching her this early. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and no Brad Nortman. Strophe running the show. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison with our guy Strofe running the show. Kyle, you seem a little too happy right now.
I mean, what can I be? I mean, at the end of the day, I can look at it from a positive lens. I'm upset.
You're not Mr. Positive.
Now, I'm upset.
Who is 2025 Kyle Wallace of the Green Bay Packers? This is back-to-back games where situationally they have been horrendous.
Yeah.
Special teams has 2 block kicks in a row. Horrible kickoff return coverage.
Yeah, but bad. Brandon McMahon
Defense gave up 40 points.
Yeah,
you tied.
Yeah.
So I think it's the tie. If there wasn't a tie, you probably would be sweating, throwing tables, and being really upset.
Had the Packers lost yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to go to sleep. I'm telling you, the Green Bay Packers snuck out of there. The reason why I am not happy with a tie, but I'll take it because I want a dub, but a loss, I couldn't do back-to-back losses going into the bye week. I absolutely, my soul couldn't take going 2 weeks without having another Packer game with back-to-back losses. But at the end of the day, the Green Bay Packers defense could not stop the Cowboys. We went down and we took the lead. We scored
like 3 different times.
But the Cowboys, they were down 4. They couldn't just kick a field goal, and they were able to drive the ball downfield with ease and able to score a touchdown. At that point with the back and forth, you are just trying to get out of there in survival mode. And that's exactly what the Green Bay Packers did. Now, I'm upset that my coach took the pedal off the metal and went in for the field goal versus trying to go in for the victory and the win.
Why are you upset by that? You should, it's an expectation right now with him.
No, that's not good enough. He basically was okay with the tie. He wasn't trying to go for the win. Now, we can tell he wasn't going for the win based off the play calling and based off the pace and tempo and the urgency that the offense lacked.
What he said in the press conference?
Even, based off the press conference.
If I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster. But yet there's another. Yeah. But then we have Jason Wilde joining and say, well, Jordan Love's a part of this, And again, he's not saying it's all on one, it's all on the other. But Matt LaFleur just doesn't. You don't look at him and think, yes, I am confident in his decision making. He's going to lead this team. He's in Jordan's ear. They're collaborating during the timeout, making sure situationally they know what they're going to do. Everything's east-west most of the game.
He's
use the middle of the field, run, there was nothing inspiring about the way in overtime for the first time. This is the second game with the new overtime. They decide to kick. All right, field goal given up. What are you thinking to yourself when the field goal is given up?
You know what he's thinking to himself?
No, what are you thinking, Kyle?
Oh, I'm thinking.
What is Strofe thinking? What are all the fans thinking?
Perfect.
As Joe said earlier on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, what were the Packers in the red zone?
5 for 5.
5 for 5.
Touchdowns,
and they
baby.
played pity paddle.
Yeah, when the Green Bay Packers were able to hold him to a field goal, I was
pity pad. What should I say, Strofe? Patty cake?
Maybe patty cake?
Patty cake, yeah. They're playing patty cake with it. But at the end of the day, when the Packers were able to hold him to a field goal, I was excited. I said, fellas, you did your job. You did your job because now this offense can drive it downfield, and A, either you have a tie, or B, you go for the win. Unfortunately, the Green Bay Packers did not go for the win. Once they got within field goal range, Matt LaFleur felt comfortable not to have these guys move with a sense of urgency. You look at the play clock. The Green Bay Packers did not call hike until there was less than 12 seconds left on the play clock at the end of that in the last drive that they had after they kind of got within field goal range. They were moving at a slow pace because they understood that they had a tie in the back pocket, but they weren't going for the victory. And so that's where my disappointment comes in. But the reason why I'm not losing my mind today is because, again, I kind of feel like we snuck a tie out of it.
That's not good enough for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations.
No. Listen. I was upset. I was disappointed, but right my heart could not take. When he kicked the field goal, and I was like, okay, here we go. We got out of here. We snuck up out of here. I didn't know what to feel.
That's bad that you're thinking, okay, we got a field goal off the tie.
Do you realize that we got blocked field goals in back-to-back weeks?
Stop saying blocked field goals. There was an extra point, damn it.
Field goal, extra point, all the same thing getting blocked. And so for me, when they try to boot the ball in and it's getting blocked, the fact that we were able to successfully hit a 53-yard field goal to force overtime and then kick another field goal to tie the game up, I'm just happy it didn't get blocked again. So, again, I am disappointed in the Green Bay.
Really, really low expectations.
No, I do. No. I am holding
because Rich Bisaccia is his man that is causing you your trauma.
If he didn't fire Joe Barry during the regular season, what in the world makes me believe that he's going to fire Rich Bisaccia? All I'm going to sit here and do is walk week in and week out.
He needs to send a message. Ed Policy's the new president. He's taking notes on his performance. He needs to send a message about what is acceptable for his team from a performance standpoint. Let's go to John in Milwaukee on Matt LaFleur on the Carbless Talk and Text line.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Hey, it goes down to remember what Homer said last year when you tried to get LaFleur to sign that Rodgers jersey? LaFleur is soft. That's it. That's all there is to it. As much as that sucks to admit, it's the truth.
I believe, Strofe, that's one of our outro liners here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Did people dislike Mike? Not dislike. Was there a lot of – because I know I was anti-Mike McCarthy in the end. Are we getting to that point where we're becoming anti-Matt LaFleur? Has he grown enough?
I feel like, again, this is a huge year for him. I'm not on the, this is the perfect timeline for Ed Policy, the new Packers president with 2 years left on Matt's contract. He has a chance because I think after the offseason, and specifically adding Micah Parsons, you've added pieces to the roster to make you feel like there's enough talent on this team to do something special. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And it is now up to the head coach to take the ingredients and mix together the perfect meal, right? The perfect last meal. And that is getting a long playoff push, getting past where they've been, which is the last time they were winning games in the playoffs was right back at in Cowboy Stadium, AT&T or whatever, Jerry's World.
We're undefeated in Jerry's World still.
Yes, technically true. Technically true. But they need to win a playoff game this year. They need to win a playoff game this year. And their best chance to win a playoff game this year is to take the talent that he has and put themselves in a position where they're not a 7 seed again, having to go on the road and fight that uphill battle throughout the playoffs. And they have the talent to do so, and it's up to him to get everyone going in the right direction. But the question I keep asking is he holding his team back, and do you have confidence that he can do it?
You know, there's a feeling that
800-990-3776.
I'm starting to feel with Matt LaFleur is that we keep asking somebody to be something that he is not. And at a certain point, you have to just believe what he is showing you is who he is. And when I say that, it makes me believe that Matt LaFleur may have peaked. Like, we may see the best. No, I'm serious. He may this may be the best that he can be, and the best he can be is a very good NFL coach that is probably, if the Packers separate from him at some point, he'll get another opportunity somewhere. But it seems to me that we keep having these same conversations over and over again, and just maybe we're asking him to do something or be something that he just does not have the ability to do. He peaked as a very good head coach, but he's not an elite head coach, and maybe at some point you have to move on to find an elite head coach because he may never win a Super Bowl.
Well, Chef Ed chimes in here. He's had 7 years and done nothing. I think that's a little too strong. That's the Carlos talking text line 800-990-3776. But what happened? Because the theme of today is situations, right? Mm-hmm. Last week's situation, 10-0, 3:30 to go. Below that, yesterday in the overtime, kick. Know what you have to do. Play a little soft. What about making a one-score game a one-score game? For me, I remember thinking to myself, okay, that was a very big missed opportunity, but he's in his second year of coaching, NFC Championship game, kind of gave him a pass, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, he's got to learn from this. But we're now way past that moment. And you can separate the Aaron Rodgers years with the Jordan Love years. What he accomplished with Jordan Love and that team in 2023, it's like he deserves credit for what they were able to do because they were 3-6. They didn't quit. Jordan Love was unbelievable. Last year, didn't beat any good teams, made it to the playoffs, lost to the ultimate champions in the Philadelphia Eagles. This year, the story's still unwritten. That's why I'm not writing him off. But again, like I've said, there's enough evidence, and this will be a huge year with the talent that he has because everyone was asking for a pass rush and this and that and a run. They have a Josh Jacobs. The offensive line's banged up. The bye week comes at a great time. But this rest of the season, he needs to show that he's not going to continue to make the same mistakes as a head coach, and he can get the team to believe in his overall direction and do something with this group because they're talented enough to do something, and it's on him to bring that out of them.
Yeah, it is on him to bring it out of them, but unfortunately he has not been able to do it at a consistent high level. You know, it sucks to, talk about a coach who is a really good coach, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is you want to win titles. You want to win championships. You've seen guys like Bud from the Milwaukee Bucks get fired, and you saw the guy from the Nuggets who got fired because they're not coaching up to the standard. So if championship head football coaches and basketball coaches get fired, a guy that's never been to a Super Bowl can most certainly get fired. It all is about what is the standard that you set and what is good enough. If 10 wins, 11 wins, and winning one playoff game, you deem that not to be good enough and you feel like somebody else can elevate this roster, then you make that move. We talked about Andy Reid before. Listen, Andy Reid was a great football coach with the Eagles, but he couldn't elevate them to the level of a championship, and they fired him. Mike McCarthy, a great football coach, but the team felt stagnant for a while, and what did they do? They relieved him of duties. And so for this, again, I'm not calling for the firing of Matt LaFleur because I don't think it's anywhere.
What about Rich Bisaccia?
Oh, Rich Bisaccia got to go. Rich Bisaccia. You hear the people clapping right now because they think Rich Bisaccia got. He ain't fired yet. We ain't got to cheer yet. But that's the thing.
Somebody probably won something nice. Be quiet.
Rich Bisaccia must go. He needs to be not made example of, but it needs to be this is what the standard is. He is not coaching up to the standard, so he has to go.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofe running the show. I'm baffled by the whole Rich Bisaccia thing. I just am. Like, even seeing Matt LaFleur and Rich Bisaccia collaborating late in that football game with like less than 30 seconds left about situational football. It takes me back to them talking about it when they were going to kick a field goal and not kick a field goal last year. I can't remember the game specifically, but he has not earned anything from Packer fans to be like, yes, when I look at Rich Bisaccia and Matt LaFleur, I trust what they're going to be doing.
And I want to trust them so much. And we all saw what they're out there. They were talking about we need to run the guys on the field. It was just poor clock management. It was poor sense of urgency. The guys didn't seem like they knew what they were supposed to be doing.
Strofe could have got to the line faster than the players were yesterday.
I mean, let's not go that.
Strofe?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Strofe would have been winded and gassed.
I tried to throw you a bone and you didn't take it.
I don't need a bone. I got all the confidence boost I needed while seeing Kyle Wallace play baseball on Friday.
No, I'm not doing this right now. I ain't doing this right now. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, and Alex Strofe, who continue to try and bring up past things to get it at each other.
Listen, Mama didn't marry no liar, so I guess Mama Strofe raised a liar, so it's fine.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to break before this
my
fight
mom.
breaks out.
You keep my mama's name out your mouth.
Oh, no. We're coming after each other's mamas now.
Well, she raised a liar.
Oh, my.
Or is your papa's fault? Whose fault is it?
We need the sock and boppers.
I think it's interesting that you bring up my mama when your mama is quoted as saying,
"Leave Strofe alone."
Yeah, she likes Strofe more than you. More next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43, backing up from Hampton all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Back on the brakes from Beecher all the way down past the KK River crossing. 894 southbound also slowing down from the zoo all the way to the Hale. And southbound 41 slow from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. Also, back that up a step. We do have the big delays from Main Street all the way to Good Hope Road. And then we also have northbound backed up from Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, mainly clear, a low of 60 at the lakefront, 56 inland tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, 73 at the lake, 80 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Bank 5-9 keeps the awards rolling in. Named a top workplace for 16 straight years and named Best Bank in the Milwaukee area by the Community Choice Award, Bank 5-9 continues to show how they're making lives better and they're continuing to serve everybody in the community. Your financial situation is too important to leave it to just anybody. So you got to focus on some place that is a true local community bank that's been around for a long time. Bank 5-9, it stands for 1859. If you've been around that long, you know you're doing things the right way. Visit a branch, give them a call, or visit Bank 5-9 today to learn how they can make your life a little bit better. Bank 5-9. Member FDIC.
Get your golf fix every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee.
Spieth is probably going to, embarrass me at some point. The hell do you know? Shut up and carry the bag.
Join Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson as they dissect all things pro golf and tell the tales of their own golfing journeys in Wisconsin.
I think it's golf in its purest form, and I think it should bookend the golf season.
Go On the Tee with Gabe and Stephen, sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort and Gruber Law Offices. Tuesday nights at 6 on 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
It was a wild one in Dallas on Sunday night as the Packers and Cowboys game ended in a tie after Brandon McManus drilled a field goal as time expired in overtime. Here's what quarterback Jordan Love had to say following the tie.
It comes down to, on Sundays, coming out here and performing, executing at a high level. And so, there is some disappointment in these past 2 weeks, but there's still a lot of stuff to clean up. And, we still got a long season ahead of us, and I still know what type of team we are.
The Packers will get a chance to reset now as they'll head into their bye week with a 2-1-1 record.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Why Z-Bart? Because cars, trucks, and SUVs still rust. They do. Just look around the parking lot. Well, it doesn't have to happen, people. Google Z-Bart rust protection, call Z-Bart, and keep your car rust-free.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, it's Kyle Walsh. You all know September is still here, and it is beautiful outside. And guess what? The fall is here, and there's no better time to tackle those home improvement projects before it starts getting a little cold. And you want to make sure you don't have those old, outdated, drafty windows that are just plain inefficient. That's why you have to work with my friends at Universal Windows Direct, because their windows are fantastic, but they also have an incredible September offer for you. They have their classic buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Yes, buy 10 windows, you get 10 windows free, or it could just simply be buy 4 windows, you get 4 free. It's so easy. 0% financing for 3 whole years and a $500 bonus off your entire home improvement project when you schedule now. So call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com today to book your free estimate. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
He's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust. We're at Ozaukee County Country Club following the Potawatomi Casino Hotel and wonderful sportsbook VIP membership services outing. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Listen more. And you can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, Ryan in McGuanago chimes in. Let's see if they don't have a stinker out of the bye for once. And here's what I'm not going to do anymore. And
sorry here.
I'm not going to do what I did against the Browns and against the Cowboys.
What is that?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I mean, after I watched the Browns, I knew their defense was good, but I thought the Packers holistic. Oh, gosh. Uh-oh. I thought the Packers on the whole were.
As a whole?
On the whole. I thought the Packers as a whole were just a more complete football team, and they were going to find a way to win.
On a whole? What does that even mean?
It's an Austin Powers reference that I knew Strofe wouldn't get, so I'm just going to skip over.
We need Brad back to get it.
I need Brad for my movie references.
He'll be back next week.
That being said, the Browns thought it would be like a win. Like I was like, I don't know how the game's going to play out, but I think they're going to grind their way to a win no matter what. The Cowboys, after what they had gone against and showed us from a defensive standpoint, ain't no way in the world I thought Dak, without CeeDee Lamb, could put up 38 points
he carved
against
us
this
up.
team.
He was so efficient yesterday.
So now I'm not going to say out of the bye they should take care of the Bengals.
No.
You just can't. The Packers have lost all of the I don't want to say faith because I think there's still faith in the team.
Confidence.
But the confidence isn't there.
No, you shouldn't be confident in this Packer team in a sense of this. You should be confident that they're a good football team because we know that to be true. But a great football team that we thought they were, the way they destroyed the Lions and the way they dismantled the Commanders, you would think they would have took care of business against the Browns and especially against the Cowboys. With that, now you're a little apprehensive of the fact that, I can't walk around with confidence telling people, don't worry about this game. No, every single game is going to be a battle. Just because they destroyed those first two teams does not mean that they're going to destroy the rest of the teams on the schedule. We looked at that schedule after they went 2-0 and said, where's the next loss? Where's the next loss? It was right there. It was right there in front of us against the Cleveland Browns. So for me, when I look at this Green Bay Packers football team, I have lost all confidence in believing that they are an elite football team, but I still think they're basically what they were last year, a very good football team.
But when you bring up last year, I think that's where the majority of my confidence was for these Browns and Cowboys games is because we're in opposite world now. The Packers beat the two opponents based off of last year early in the season that you were thinking were, NFC championship contenders and teams that were really competitive over the last 3 years. And the Lions have showed after the Packers they're 3-1 and they got a little swagger back. The Commanders don't have Jaden Daniels, so whatever, but they still took care of business in a convincing fashion where I was like, all right, this team's legit. And then I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, if they're really legit, I remember last year they took care of every single opponent essentially that had a worse record, and that I got caught up in that, and maybe the team did. From Rasheed Walker saying they could win every game to Alex Strofe also saying he thinks they were going to be everyone not 17-0, but Strofe, you and I had a conversation, and a lot of people thought that they could be 9-0 before they play the Eagles.
Yeah, and my thing is, talking about the Rasheed Walker, who we going to blame now, Matt? We're going to blame Rasheed Walker for the talk of 17-0, the guys not being focused. Who are we going to blame for this defense now for special teams? And so, again, it all falls on Matt LaFleur. I don't care about any of the conversation or the talk. Matt LaFleur has not done a good enough job ensuring that this football team was ready to play in all three phases of the football game. And when we look at this past week, the offense was humming. The defense in the first half was spectacular. The special teams, once again, was a problem. And they need to take this week to clean up a lot of different things. But this team has to be more disciplined as well. Between the penalties and the mental breakdowns, the lack of focus that this team has, they have to get better. At a certain point, this team is going to have to grow up. When will that be? Matt LaFleur, you got to lead them. You got to make sure they're growing up. You got to make sure the end-of-game management, you and Jordan Love are in sync, right, on the same, working cohesively together to figure things out. Jason Wilde joined us earlier today and said, well, Jordan Love, he can't do that. Well, where's Matt LaFleur making sure he won't do that, right? And so, again, I put this all on Matt LaFleur, this loss, and I put it on Rich Bisaccia as well. But, again, that falls on Matt LaFleur because he selected him, and he continues to allow him to be incompetent at his job.
Strofe, you're running the show back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio. Somehow Kyle was able to go to bed 45 minutes after the game because it was a tie. There's no way that you were able to shut down after 45 minutes. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's accurate. More so than fair.
Poor guy. What were you thinking about?
Well, I was reacting. I was listening to Green Bay Game Night. I was watching Sports Center. I was watching press conferences as I do.
One of his favorite things is to listen to Matt LaFleur press conferences before bed.
I didn't get through it last night. I had to turn it off. I was getting so angry as my girlfriend and dog slept next to me, and I was getting so angry listening to Matt LaFleur. I had to turn it off.
Yeah, see, that's the reason why you know me, when the Badgers lose or the Packers lose, not so much the Badgers as I used to be, but when my teams lose, I just turn the TV off and
have some long Saturday nights.
Had to let that go. Had to let that bad thing go. But for me, when the Green Bay Packers lose and obviously they tie, I have to completely detach because if I sit there and I pay attention to what's going on, so you like suffering. You like suffering.
I don't like suffering. I don't have a choice.
No. I need a pause where I can reconnect the next day.
All I think about all the time is the Green Bay Packers. I can't just stop thinking about them when they tie 40-40 on Sunday Night Football and go to sleep.
That's what I was going to ask both of you, Kyle Walsh and Alex Strofe, and KBN Nation 800-990-3776 and the Carbos Talking text line or YouTube. What's the one thing right now that's keeping you up at night about the Green Bay Packers?
One thing.
One thing. You get one thing that's keeping you up at night that has you worried about what this team can do this year.
The offensive line. The offensive line, listen, the offensive line is the biggest thing that I know. We talked about special teams this entire game. The offensive line in the first half was abysmal, too. It was bad. Jordan Love, again, not so much Jordan Love with the pressure, but more so not opening up holes. Now, they look better in the second half, and I understand we have injuries, but the offensive line was so bad in the first half. That is one of the biggest things and pet peeves that I have right now with this team is the fact that the offensive line, if they can't be consistent, then we won't be able to run the football, and we won't be able to protect Jordan Love. We got to have more consistent offensive line play. That is the thing that I am thinking about. Bumps the defense having a bad game. I understand special teams is bad, but guess what? Special teams only gets 15 plays, and they're big plays. But if you're able to protect Jordan Love, you see him drop 40, 3 touchdowns, 300. If you're able to open up holes with Josh Jacobs, you're able to see him break out, make a nice little cut, get to the end zone for a touchdown. Like, that is what a great offensive line can do. But right now, the offensive line has been below average.
They scored 40 points, and they were able to help provide some of those moments for you with Josh Jacobs.
In the second half.
Emmanuel Wilson. So I'm surprised he went offensive line. It's definitely something. It's his choice. Strofe, well, the one thing that's going to keep you up at night as it pertains to the Green Bay Packers and what they can do this year.
Ben, that was a really nice way of you saying, Kyle, you don't know ball.
I don't know how y'all see Jordan Love run for his life last week. Jordan! And then don't think the offensive line.
Jordan Love was sacked once yesterday, and they get a bye week for Aaron Banks and Zach Tom to heal up. I'm not too worried about the offensive line, to be real honest with you, and Anthony Belton. It's just the overall identity. I don't know what this team's identity is. I had an answer prior to yesterday's game. I don't think after allowing 38 points to the Dallas Cowboys, I can use that answer anymore. So I said it earlier in the show. I legitimately am so confused on who this team is or what this team is. And I know we're only a quarter of the way through the season now, and there's still a lot of time to figure that out. But for a team 2 weeks ago, I was ready to buy tickets to Santa Clara in February. To go from that to this very quickly, I just don't know what their identity is. I don't know anything. I know nothing. We've seen 4 games of football, and I know nothing.
This bye week could not for the Packers. It's timely, but for you not knowing who they are, that's a bad time for an Alex Strofe Green Bay Packers bye week, because now until they play, you are going to be thinking about who are the Green Bay Packers for the next 11, 12 days.
Strofe, before you freak out, I just want you to think about this defense. Defenses have bad games. It happens. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to have games where it's just like, what in the heck just happened? Why couldn't we stop them? Do not allow for that one game that this defense played all of a sudden to make you think that they're fraudulent, all of a sudden to make you think Halfley doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I get it. I feel how people can be concerned, but do not allow for one game to give you concern over these next 2 weeks, because they're going to have a chance to bounce back. If anything, you should be more concerned about
George Pickens had 8 catches. George Pickens had 8 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns.
How many did Amon-Ra St. Brown have?
The receivers the Packers have coming up after the bye.
How many did Amon-Ra St. Brown have?
Marvin Harrison. DK
Marvin Harrison.
A.J. Brown. No more Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison hate each other.
Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Rome Odunze has been great, but he's not on the level of those guys. You'll eventually have Zay Flowers and Justin Jefferson again. That's remaining on the schedule.
No, I get it.
Jamar Chase after the bye.
How did Terry McLaurin do?
Well, first off, that's not his name. Second off,
for McLaurin, how did he do?
Yeah, I agree. But that's also
how did Debo do? No. But what I'm saying, you cannot sit here and say, "Oh no, look what happened in this one game with George Pickens," and then ignore how they did a couple games before that. I understand Strofe.
The reason why I think it's a little more fair to Strofe to feel that way is because you were able to stop all the guys you mentioned, and George Pickens, who's still learning that offense, looked like he was a 5-year veteran in Brian Schottenheimer's Cowboys offense against the defense.
He was just cooking guys on the outside. He was on the outside cooking guys.
No,
he was cooking.
They were running a zone, and they were just doing the same thing over and over again.
When you don't get pressure, that's the problem. If you guys don't believe that this team is going to be able to get pressure at all anymore, then I understand. Okay, yeah, they're going to have to sit back there and cover. Then, yeah, they're going to be cooked by those guys. But I'm under the belief that we're going to still be able to get pressure at some point.
If we had done the exercise prior to the season, which position group scares you most, which we probably did, all of us would have answered cornerback.
Oh, 100%. We did. A corner is still a problem. It's still a problem, but we have seen what the formula is for success. Just 2 weeks ago, y'all.
Then what happened yesterday?
Then
starting center and starting left guard were both out of that game. Their best receiver out of that game. What happened? Explain it to me.
Dude, what happens in sports is sometimes teams draw up great games. No, listen, because I'm upset, but to sit here.
Upset? You're not upset.
No, because
you're happy with it. Kyle's
one
happy
sack
with the tie.
for a 0-yard loss.
One sack. Kyle's happy with the tie.
One sack for a 0-yard
he
loss.
was able to go to bed.
So wait a minute.
9 incomplete passes. That's it. He went 31 of 40.
He had
319 yards and 3 touchdowns.
They scored 3 touchdown drives before playing the Green Bay Packers. They had 5 in a row.
I saw. They could, but remember, early in that game, they couldn't do anything. It just came out of nowhere. They got momentum, and they kept basically they were able to run the football. Devontae Wyatt went down. Them picking up the first downs. They were so good at running the ball to get 3, 4, 5 yards on first downs to allow for a second and short, a second and mid. That was working out very well for them. There was just things that happen in games where teams just don't have it, man. That's just what happened.
For 38 points.
That is what happened yesterday. Do not panic. Now, if the Bengals with Jake Browning come in here and we can't stop them, then we can have this conversation about maybe the defense is fraudulent. But do not allow for the first 3 games to not matter or only put everything on. Don't wait to test on one game with the Cowboys. Don't do that. And the Cowboys offense, I mean, listen, yesterday was inexcusable. But the Cowboys offense has scored a lot of points this season and put up a lot of yards. Dak Prescott was top 3 in passing yards, top 4 in passing yards going into yesterday.
Because their defense is so bad.
So bad. And guess what? They had to score. They had to score a lot of points again yesterday. And they did it.
Man.
And they did it. So again, I'm not
happy with the tie.
No.
Alex Strofe is going to have a hard time figuring out the identity of this team without seeing them play for 10, 11 days here. But we'll continue on. I'm disappointed in Kyle.
No, come on now.
No, it's you. I don't like you.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team, TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Slowing down on 41 southbound from Main Street, Menominee Falls, all the way to Good Hope Road. That's pretty solid right now. And then from Appleton Avenue down towards Capitol Drive. The northbound side's a bit backed up from just before Mayfair Road up towards Burleigh. Southbound 43, we got delays from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Eastbound 94 backing up from 76th Street through the Stadium to 35th. Westbound's backed up from just west of 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Morningstar Golfers Club. Tee it up at Morningstar Golfers Club. Championship greens, breathtaking views, and a golf experience you won't forget. Book your tee time today at golfthestar.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, low of 60 at the lakefront, 56 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and beautiful, a high of 73 at the lake, 80 inland. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Your path to a degree should fit your life, not the other way around. At Lakeland University, you can personalize every part of your college experience. With a main campus in Sheboygan, evening classes across the state, and flexible online options, you choose how and when you learn. Just graduated high school, changing careers, juggling work and life, they've got options for you. You can even earn credit for experience you already have, or for the work you're doing now, saving time and money. Start customizing your future today at lakeland.edu/ESPN. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play. Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One Collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush-mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One Collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Is your roof underperforming? Saggy shingles, leaky spots? Sounds like someone needs a little Evandale Roofing. They don't just patch things up, they go all the way. Tight, sealed, satisfied. It's the kind of roof that'll have your neighbors going,
now that's a roof.
Evandale Roofing. They get on top so you don't have to. Call now. Your house deserves it.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with no Nortman. Strophies running the show. We're live from Ozaukee County Country Club. Big shout out to them and to Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the membership VIP services team. Luis from Potawatomi, as well as always, amazing. Had a great time with him. Need some golf lessons, but I'll leave that there. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more, and we're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. We started the show with this conversation. Is Matt LaFleur holding the Green Bay Packers back? 62% of the people say yes. 38% of the people say no.
Ooh, palm.
So you're no?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that Matt LaFleur is holding this team back quite yet.
Okay.
This is gonna be a very telling season because the way I'm good. Jordan Love played great.
Your eyes are open.
Well, yeah, I mean, this team makes a lot of mistakes, but also a lot of the greatness that comes from this football team comes from the mind of Matt LaFleur. Like a lot of these guys that have developed, where Romeo Dobbs three touchdowns yesterday, right? Like that comes from the development of the coaching of Matt LaFleur.
Has the greatness this year been through what he's known for, is being the offensive guru?
I don't believe the offense in week 1 and week 2, and then also in week 4. I don't believe the offense was bad. I thought 27 points in the first 2 weeks. I thought there was room for improvement, getting the running game going. I thought the offensive line was a problem for a lot of the first games.
What was situational coaching?
Yeah, I mean, again, when you blow teams out week 1 and week 2, and then week 3 you have what you have.
But when I ask situational coaching, there's more examples than just the last 2 weeks.
There are more examples of the last 2 weeks, but that might just be the guy who he is. I mean, again, I'm not ready to say that Matt LaFleur is holding his team back because I think that's a disservice to Matt LaFleur for how much success he has had in the NFL. To say a guy that has consistently been over 500 as a coach, a guy that was able to take a team after moving on from Aaron Rodgers to the playoffs, back-to-back seasons into a 9-win season, 11-win season, like holding them back. I mean, there's a lot of growth that he had with one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So I'm not ready to say that, but I do see some chinks in the armor.
What I'm most curious, because Brian Bulaga is going to join us before the Homer Hour, there's just from Matt LaFleur's perspective post-game, Strofe had to shut it off because he was getting angry at him saying a lot of the same things over and over that he's said before.
So when I do this, typically, I'm laying in bed, right? So I pull it up on the TV on YouTube, where you can pull us up at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison on YouTube, from 2 to 5 every day. So I pull up the press conference live on YouTube on the TV, and I have it like a little quiet, but I can still hear it. My girlfriend and the dog are sleeping to my left. I'm on the right side of the bed, right? And so last night, I verbally, quietly let out a, "What the hell is he talking about?" And that's when I knew I had to turn it off. The hell are we doing?
Because the dog perked up?
The dog perked up, and also I didn't want to wake up my girlfriend because I knew if I continued to listen to Matt LaFleur say, "Yeah, I got to be better," I'd probably be like, "What are we talking? Stop! Stop!"
That's called torture.
No, it's literally him following his team and listening to the head coach that leads the team out every week that he roots for.
But he doesn't have to do it.
There's nothing wrong with what he did.
I just don't understand. After having to go through the misery of watching that game, why would you want to?
If it was a noon or a 3 o'clock game, is it just because it's late that you don't think it's okay? Because I think it's very normal for every fan to want to hear from their head coach.
Kyle's biggest worry is the offensive line, who only let Jordan Love get sacked once, and Josh Jacobs had his best game of the season by a mile. So I don't know, man. We're watching different football teams.
Sure, yeah. The first half of that football game, that offensive line was magnificent. The week before that, the offensive line was magnificent. The week before that, the offensive line was perfect, right? That's your problem, Stroh.
That's your number one worry.
You watch one game and you just take the bad thing from one game. You know what? You were probably hating on Jordan Love last week. Oh, he's bad. He has problems.
I never said that.
Now you're projecting.
Never once said that.
I don't know what he said last week, but all I'm saying is you cannot allow one game to all of a sudden let that be what the football team is.
Tell me what their identity is. My biggest question is what's their identity?
My overall point I'm trying to make is Matt LaFleur said if I would have knew this is how it was going to happen, we would have went faster. But at the same time, we have Jason Wilde holding Jordan Love accountable and saying he's been in the league 3 years. I want to get inside the mind of somebody who's been coached by Matt LaFleur and has been in those situations. What is the communication like? 2-minute warning in that situation, down 3. What are those conversations? Because the way it played out looked like they were zombies getting to the line of scrimmage, and it was something that I think sits wrong with everybody in terms of the urgency to try and go win that football game. So let's get answers from an expert instead of Kyle trying to pick a fight with Stroh.
I'm not picking this fight with
Brian Bulaga joins us next.
Ain't no fight.
You're listening to Kyle Brust.
The Marquette family is hurting. 2 men's lacrosse student athletes were tragically taken far too soon in an accident that has shaken the entire community.
In the face of unimaginable loss, this team continues to show strength, love, and resilience,
embodying what it truly means to be part of the Marquette family.
Now they need us.
You can support the team through the Men's Lacrosse Excellence Fund, with every dollar going to help them during this time of unprecedented challenge.
Find the link to help pinned to ESPN Milwaukee's Twitter page.
We are Marquette.
Well, you and I, we make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to cash in this football season. Which players are going to go off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app, use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health. at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Homer here. Whether you're cheering from the stands or watching the game from your backyard, every fan knows great moments deserve great vibes. Swing into Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan. Just across the Wisconsin border, they offer a full line of high-quality, clean-grain, certified CBD products designed to help you relax, recover, and recharge no matter the season. Higher Love is organically grown, locally owned, and proudly one of the best in the Midwest. Visit them in Menominee or explore the full CBD lineup at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6.25 to 15.75 ounce selected varieties, Frito-Lay Doritos, Sun Chips, Ruffles, or Tostitos dip, 2 for $7. 24-pack selected varieties, Pure Life Water, $3.99. 14-ounce or 3-count selected varieties, Haagen-Dazs ice cream or bars, $3.99. 4.5 to 5.3-ounce selected varieties, Chobani Flip Greek yogurt, 2 for $3.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is...
It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before the Homer Hour. Joining us now, very timely as always, is Brian Bulaga. Brian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That was a different "I'm good, how are you" from Brian.
Been better, Brian. Been better.
Yeah, so here, before I ask any questions, maybe just tell me your overall feelings after watching the 40-40 tie yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's like, you watch all that, and there's 80 points in a game, and obviously disappointed with. I didn't expect defensively that performance, right? I mean, that was the last thing I expected was our defense to give up 40. I mean, I get, end of the half. That wasn't on them. That is what it is, right? So take 7 off there take 9 technically, right? The blocked PAT and then the 7 at the end of the half. But still don't expect that number on the board, right? Like, that's not the number I expect from our defense. And then, just don't understand, offensively, just a couple of the things that happened towards the end of the game. I heard you guys talking earlier about, that last drive in overtime, kind of as the clock's ticking down. I'm not sure what's going, because that's stuff that's regularly practiced. Those are things that you should just know as just the 11 guys out on the field, what's happening. I don't know why they're looking over to the sideline like something's going to happen. There's no timeouts. You got about 26, or what was it, 23 seconds left?
Something like that,
yeah,
24.
You can get a playoff and a good play. You can get a good playoff. The play probably came through the headset. I heard Matt say ozone. That's what he said in the press conference. I know what that is.
End zone or out of bounds.
Yeah, end zone or out of bounds. So the play came through. I don't know why everyone was walking up to the line of scrimmage. I don't know what guys are doing. I don't know what's happening there, that the urgency is to walk up there.
Who coaches that?
Yeah, is that more on Love or LaFleur? Because we're genuinely trying to figure it out, because as a third-year quarterback, you're supposed to know the situation, time, and everything. But Matt LaFleur at the end of in his press conference, if I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster. That quote doesn't sit well with me, because you kick it to them to understand what you have to do in overtime with these new rules.
Yeah, so from his point, and as I was watching overtime, I felt like I knew what he was doing, right? So he's bleeding this clock, and he's bleeding the clock because for the first time in this young season, he's realizing his defense is not stopping the opposing team.
Yep.
Like, this is the first time he has seen it. And he is bleeding this thing dry because the last thing he wants is to give Dallas, like, you know, some time left. And they get, like, you know, 40 seconds left, and they go down and score a touchdown or a field goal because the kicker can kick, like, 67 yards. Like, right? The field goal kicker can kick a ball a mile. So, like,
bro, his extra points were at the top of the net every single time, right down the middle. His kickoffs were unbelievable. He's a weapon.
That's what I'm saying. So that's in the back of his mind. Like, if I give them time, it takes one completion and they have timeouts. They just need to get like 20 yards from like a normal touchback, and the kicker can maybe make a field goal and the game's over. So, like, I understand what he's doing, right? Like, I get it. But, like, from the guy's urgency standpoint, as that clock is ticking down, that is something that they should, like, those players on the field, like get to the line and give the quarterback time to, like, make adjustments. Like, that's, like, the thing that I'm thinking in my brain as I'm seeing these guys kind of, like, walk around. I'm like, the thing that we would all know as linemen, like, get to the line as fast as possible, for one, to let Aaron see what the defense is doing so he can make route adjustments. And then, two, let's see if we can manipulate the snap count and maybe get them off sides so Aaron can just take a shot really quick and see if we can maybe get a free play and then move up 5 yards, and then maybe we have a dead clock, and then we can make another shot at it. Like, it's just like little things like that you just, I'm watching and just thinking these things, right? Like, it's just, I don't know I don't know what the guys in the field are thinking, because the coach can't be screaming that at them from the sideline. Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone wants to put it on the floor. Like, I get it, but, like, these guys have to do this. Like, they got to do it.
So is this falling on Jordan Love's shoulders more than LaFleur at that end of game clock management?
Well, listen, and LaFleur's going to take blame, and he's going to put it some on him because he's the head coach, and this is the type of guy Matt is, right? Like, and this is what he does, and this is why I appreciate Matt. But, like, I mean, and I think Jordan's a big boy, right? Like, and I'm not. This is like, I don't criticize quarterbacks a lot because, like, they got a lot of responsibility already. But, like, he's got to get those linemen. He's got to get their, you know what, to the line of scrimmage and get them, because once they get lined up, everyone else gets lined up.
Do you take the lead from the quarterback? Because a lot of times I feel like Aaron was barking, like, you know, like, get up. Like, it just, there was none of that from the overall team and Jordan specifically.
And can you answer also, was Aaron barking like that the year you guys went to the Super Bowl? Because that was your first year. And I think that was Aaron's third year as a starter. Was he barking like that year too?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Like in those situations, he would be screaming at us to get to the line. So we would be sprinting to the line, because the minute we get set, the receivers know they got to run and get set. Like, that's how those triggers, like, those are the triggers. And then that gives him like a few extra seconds to see what that defense is doing, give his hand signals to the receivers, and the ball gets snapped. And then that ball gets snapped at, we'll just say 13, right? And then he throws it, and then there's more time left. Maybe you get a chance for another play.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know, right? Like, it just, there's certain things that, like, that whole sequence of, like, from 24 or 28 down, I was just going, like, what is happening here?
You know what? You make a great point, Brian, because usually when you have the reception, right, and whenever it is, like, even we saw it last week with the Cleveland Browns, because they had to, you receive the ball, you hand it off to the ref, and you have a sense of urgency. The Green Bay Packers complete the pass, and the clock is ticking, and guys are just moving slowly versus let's run to the ball, let's hurry. That is very interesting that they did not have that sense of urgency, and it sounds like it falls on Jordan Love to command and demand that from the guys around him.
Yeah, he's just got to get the guys get going, and guess what that does? That stresses the defense out too. They make mistakes when they feel stressed out, and they have to line up and they have to get set, and their communication gets stressed out. It's loud in there. They can't communicate properly. Things break down on the back end when they can't talk. So, like, it's all part of it's all part of the whole situation as an offense. So like, I don't want to heap on Jordan, but I'm certainly not piling on Matt. That's definitely not what I'm doing today. That's 100% not what I'm doing today.
That's fair enough, Brian. We appreciate the insight, and I think that's great stuff for us and the audience and anyone who wants to learn anything about what happened in yesterday's game. And you're going to get